RuneQuest sex icon. The paperwork's just coming through. We're back today with another episode of RuneQuest, and today we're going to be featuring the RuneQuest Bestiary, which is out in just a couple of days, and we're going to be getting into some pretty intense combat here. So let's get into it. First of all, let's go around the cast and crew. Let's see who we are and who we're going to be playing today. And let's start with our Games Master for tonight, Jason Durrell from Chaosium. How's it going, Jason?
It's great. It is 2 a.m. here in dark and quiet Berlin. I'm looking outside at just a wall of darkness. The city is asleep, but I am not. I'm here to run this game for you. I'm the line editor for RuneQuest and any basic role-playing stuff that Chaosium does. And I've been with the company for a couple of years and a fan for about 30 years. And awesome. So that's we're just wrapping up the Bestiary, and I was told that we needed to do a demo of combat. So here we are.
Oh boy, let's do it. Well, we also have with us Mr. Jim Davis from WebDM. Jim, how's it going, my friend?
It's going great. I'm always glad to be here with you, Will, and I'm certainly glad to be trying out RuneQuest because we did Diplomance the Dragon last time, and I believe that chat thought we should have done otherwise. So perhaps we can give them the bloodbath they so seem to want.
Yes, they called for our heads to be rolling, and we didn't disappoint. We're gonna make that happen. Great stuff. Thank you, Jim. We also have with us tonight Mr. Pruitt, Jonathan Pruitt from WebDM. How's it going, Pruitt?
I'm doing great, sir. I can't wait to jump back in this world. I had so much fun last time, just reading through the lore and everything. I look forward to riding my my bison into combat and smiting some foes. So I can't wait to get to it.
Absolutely. And last but not least, we have Laura Lania joining us tonight. Tia, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm looking forward to tonight's episode, which I had no idea was going to be a bloodbath. They're just like, hey, do you want to come roleplay with us? And, now apparently we're all going to die. But I'm playing Yanioth, the apprentice priestess of Ernalda, and I am basically going to be the party's support. I'm completely new to RuneQuest, so I'm looking forward to seeing how that's going to roll out. Do it.
Amazing. Well, as for myself, I will be playing Harmast. My father is a very important man. I am the heir apparent to the Kolimar tribe, and you're going to hear a lot about my father because he's very important, as I mentioned.
Heir apparent to the clan within the tribe, not the tribe.
Yes.
Don't put on airs.
Details.
We'll give you time.
He's a noble. He likes to flaunt it because he's got it, and his death will be remembered. If and when he dies. But before we get into the game today, I want to remind you guys there in chat that we're going to be giving away 5 PDF copies of the upcoming RuneQuest Bestiary. The only way to get involved in that is to be around at the end of the game when we'll be giving away for those of you guys watching in the Twitch chat. So we also have an ongoing giveaway on the Encounter Roleplay Twitter for a hardcover copy of the Bestiary that I will link to you guys in a few minutes' time, and will be in the YouTube video as well for those of you watching back. Also, I wanted to mention that Chaosium has been nominated for no less than 8 Ennies this year, including the RuneQuest Quick Start and Adventure. So congrats. Go and vote for Chaosium and the Ennies. And they've got nice RuneQuest Quick Start and Adventure is the best free product at the moment in the Ennies. Go and vote for that and show them some love. But I will hand over to our Games Master for tonight, Jason, to tell us a little bit about RuneQuest and to take us into our game today.
All right. Well, RuneQuest is, as many of our fans probably will already know, is one of the classic fantasy RPGs. It differs from a lot of the leading brands in that it's mostly a sort of Bronze Age, ancient world fantasy game that draws from a lot more world mythology like Babylonian and Aztec and early Celtic and pre-Iron Age cultures and civilizations. It's set in the world of Glorantha, a world where all magic permeates everything and everyone can use magic. And the world is shaped by the sort of mythical building blocks of reality called the runes. And so everyone basically is aligned with these runes. The runes are sort of real, like as real as good and evil as, or gravity, for example. I mean, to use a more specific thing like gravity or light or physical mass. The runes just are everywhere, and everyone is made up with them. They are aligned with them in various ways, and they can use them to influence their behavior and their action. You use runes to cast magic. You use spirits to cast magic, and so, as I say, a very deeply magical world, one with a lot of strange and interesting creatures in it that aren't so much the traditional fantasy races or the traditional fantasy tropes. So that is RuneQuest. The system is D100 based, where you'll roll low against a percentage chance. It is the same system that Call of Cthulhu used. Or uses in the past. It's branched a little bit over the years. They are still basically the same system, but there are some significant differences. But anyway, it's pretty straightforward. Try to roll under the number you have. Like if you have a 75% broadsword skill, that means 75% of the time you're going to hit what you aim at. If you roll very, very low, you could get a special success, and if you roll super low, you'll get a critical success, and those are all pretty epic. Characters are driven by what we call passions, which are sort of beliefs you have that you can call upon to help improve your abilities in play, and you can do the same with the runes. So there you go. That is RuneQuest in a nutshell.
Awesome. Well, let's get playing it. Let's see some battle, and let's see which one of us goes down first.
All right. Well, hopefully no one. All right. So this is not a direct continuation from the previous session that you guys played. It's going to just take place an indeterminate time later, where your characters are, all of you, your adventurers, are all in the employ of a man named Biturian Varash. He is a very famous trader in this part of the world, the plains of Prax, which is on the map that you may see in the center of the screen if you happen to be looking at the screen. The plains of Prax are a gigantic and desolate wasteland that is filled with a variety of what they call the animal nomads of Prax, these 5 great tribes of people who sort of have a very strong bond with a particular animal type, whether it be a bison or an impala or ostriches or rhinoceri. And so they basically dominate this area. It was once a more fertile place, but now it's parched and dry, and caravans need to stick together because there's all sorts of bad stuff that can happen across there. But the characters are all from, if you look at the map, they're all from the western side, and you're coming specifically from a city called Boldhome, which is a fortified city in the hills. It's a great place, awesome. Your ultimate goal is to try to reach the city of Pavis, which is on the River of Cradles, a very famous location. And the lord, which you are all serving, a guy named Argraf, he has sent you to Pavis for reasons that are not immediately relevant to this scenario or this gameplay. So you thought that the best way to cross the plains of Prax is through with a merchant caravan, because you can make a little money and along the way, and also having somebody else, supplying the water and guiding you across this great desolate wasteland. Think of Australia from the Mad Max movies. It's sort of like that, with a very similar tone, and a lot of really extreme geography as well. So you are, when we begin, you are with Biturian Varash. He's, like I said, a trader. He worships the god Isseries, who is the god of trade, and you're at a thing called the Block. Now, long ago, there was a battle. I won't go into too many details, but there was this gigantic thing called the Spike, a gigantic mountain that reached all the way up into the heavens. And it was destroyed, and pieces of it flew all over the world. and one big chunk, a gigantic square block of it, landed. It's about half a kilometer per side, and it's just this gigantic stone block. It's made out of this impervious stone called true stone, which is also fairly valuable, but because it's so difficult to break pieces off of it, it's just sort of there. And anyway, because there's this gigantic half-kilometer block of stone in the middle of this desolate wasteland, it's used as a meeting point for various tribes. Sometimes it's a nice landmark, but also a little trade market has emerged in the shade of the block. And that is where you are at. Baturian has been peddling his wares. He's got spices, bolts of rare cloth, oils, amber, woods, furs, and other things. And you all have been hanging around. You're probably a little bored by this, just watching the merchant go. There's all of the animal nomads are there with their various creatures, a wide variety of beings who are heading, just native to the area and travelers through it. And it's nearing the end of the day's trading. It's getting, the sun is cooling a bit, and Baturian is getting ready to strike the camp and move on so that you can travel under the, you get a little bit of travel between here and your destination before it gets too dark. And the reason you travel in the evening is because it's less hot than during the height of day. Is there anything you'd like to do, or should we just, or do you have any questions for me about this situation? I would say that Barash has actually been a little kind to you. He's given you some money so that you can actually go and get some water and bathe yourselves and get cleaned up. There's not like baths or anything, but you can certainly get refreshed because you've been traveling for a ways, and he's probably a little bit like, okay, go freshen up a bit. So you're all feeling pretty good right now. So what would you like to, that he'd like to leave soon, so what are your plans? You've just emerged from a tent where they had some little basins of water and some perfumed cloths and all sorts of nice stuff to make you feel a little better.
Is there any sort of gear that like the locals have that we didn't bring with us?
Varosh is a seasoned traveler. He's written some, his personal journals are considered almost a travel log of the plains of Prax. And so they've actually been widely copied and distributed throughout the area. So he's a pretty seasoned traveler, so he has all of the gear that you need. You've actually had to travel a few days already from Boldholm, so you would have anything you need for like survival in this harsh environment. Okay. You've got your water skins, you've got feed for your animals, and of them, let's see, Sorala, you are probably walking.
Vasana's got I don't have a mount.
Neither does Yanni. My zebras, if you want, Sorala, I have a spare. My father gave it to me. It's a fine breed.
Looks like a noble animal.
Yeah, riding zebras are... Yes. They're not fighting, they're not trained for combat, but they are excellent for riding. Yanioth, you probably might not want to ride an animal. I mean, why would you want to ride an animal where you can walk in touch with the earth, which is,
I don't know anything about noble animals, but my cousin can be a little bit of a noble animal at times if you don't keep an eye on him.
Yes, quite, sister.
So
on foot for me.
All right.
Yeah, I'll take in the local sites, but yeah, if we're about to leave, I don't want to run off.
And Vasana will freshen up because as the party leader, she needs to look her best. But she will also spring for if there's some like extra fruit for her bison to Tonka. She would like to give him that.
All right. Sure, there is some extra fruit, some dried dates, and some olives, and all manner of appropriate provender can be found there. So, as you're heading back to the campsite, or rather the trade area where the tents are all being struck and the various traders are packing their wares for the evening, you notice Biturian. He sort of looks a little distressed, and there's a fellow, not a human actually, a guy. He's kind of he's got tusks coming out of his mouth. He's humanoid in form, unruly, a little brutish, wearing leathered armor that is like scalloped with bronze plates all over it. He looks very angry. He's got an elaborate patch over one of his eyes, and he, a big sword at his hip, and he seems to be in Biturian's face, and he's like saying, "You'll deal with me, merchant. Deal with me now." And Biturian, he looks over at you with a little bit of a mixture of panic and expectancy.
Is there a problem here?
Right over.
All right, so who would like to step up? Are you all going to surge forward in a block? Or,
I'm going to let Hamist continue his conversation, but I'm going to kind of power walk alongside of him, kind of, where one starts walking up and then I catch up to him and then we both walk in stride. Like, what's the issue here? And I'm just gonna stand and look at them.
Yeah,
while Hamist
and Vasana will bookend Hamas with her half sister.
Okay, and you're leading your bison, I would assume, as opposed to riding it.
Tataga, he's over at the stables. He's enjoying his nightly treat. So before we get going, let him enjoy that.
All right. I would ask to make a basic knowledge roll, which would be your intelligence times 5, if anyone would care to do that to figure out who these guys are. But honestly, this guy, you don't know him personally, but you know what he is. He is a member of a race called the Tusk Riders. They're vaguely related to trolls, and they're famous for riding these gigantic swine, these hairy swine called tuskers, big boars, and they are pretty brutal. They work as mercenaries, and they worship a god called the Bloody Tusk. They're a member of the cult of the Bloody Tusk, and they are generally kind of unruly, but they're intelligent. They speak, and they can use magic like everyone, and they can coexist side by side with most people in the world. But on the other hand, they tend to do a lot of they're known for their brutishness. If you were looking for another game's equivalent, they would be like a more civilized breed of orc, so to speak. And so they are this one. He's looking pretty angry, and when he's in the middle of, he looked like he was just about ready to grab Biturian's robe by the front, when he sees suddenly your shadows all sort of fall on him, and he turns and looks at you. "What is this?" he says.
Biturian, does there seem to be a problem here?
Not even a customer. Someone who insists that I remain open when I'm business hours are over.
Mm-hmm. There are only certain hours a man should be working. These are not them.
I want what is mine. The Tusk Riders.
And what is yours that you are so bold to claim before money is exchanged hands?
A birthright or some such? I mean, I would understand if it were for my birthright.
I was told that this merchant has purchased something dear to my people. I would have it. And Biturian, he shakes his head. He says, "I have no idea what."
Is this an ecclesiastical matter, or is this just a relic of your people? Do you have perhaps a certificate, something to say that this belongs to your people? Do you understand that we can't just take you at your word? That wouldn't be very bright now, would it? For any merchant.
Foolish.
Come now, Shork. Do you understand who you're talking to?
Yes, Hamas, foolish. That's the correct word.
He looks a little dissatisfied, and you could tell he's calculating odds by the fact that he's here alone. He's He's not dumb enough to put his hand on his sword, but he is clearly unsatisfied with the potential for this outcome. He says, one of my men was robbed by a merchant nearby who's no longer here. He gave an item that was not his to give. That merchant claims he sold it. Yeah, that merchant claims that he sold it to this man, who says he doesn't.
Well, that sounds like a matter for the courts and not something that we can be bothered with. We're about to start a very long journey, you see, and the amount of time it would take to put in the paperwork and get around. Why don't we get to it when we get back? We can solve that matter for you.
We're not coming
Bestiary,
back.
He says...
That's the point.
Yeah, he says...
Let's talk about that later.
All right. Bestiary, he says, I can put the matter to rest now. I don't know what you could be after. I have purchased very little while I'm here. My goal is to sell things. I am a dealer. I don't really accumulate much. I did purchase a box full of various trinkets and curios, which you are welcome to look at. And he reaches under a saddle blanket that's sitting on a mid-sized wooden chest near him, and he pulls the blanket off and opens it up with a key from his belt pouch, and you see there's a whole bunch of like knickknacks and little fetishes and things that look like charms and relics of all different gods and cults, and some things that are probably just decor. And the Tusk Rider, he looks, he peers into it, looks around, fishes around a little bit, and he says, "It's not there. Where is it?"
Well, then the matter is settled, is it not? It is not here.
I don't see it. My eyes are very good.
All right. Which of you
Your
would
father's eyes, of course they are.
Which of you would be closest to him?
Me, Visana.
Okay. He steps up to you, Visana, and I don't know if you remember from your character description, but Visana is quite short if when she's on the ground, and he locks eyes with you, and his one eye, and he says, "Remember my name, Zeth Wildeye. We will speak
How do you
again."
spell that?
Wild.
How do you spell that?
Zeath.
Zeth. Do I recognize that name at all?
You can make a roll for roll against his reputation. So roll percentile dice, try for low. He's got a little bit of a rep, and with reputation, it's actually a roll you make to see if you've heard of him.
It's a reputation of a big bad boy.
Oh, 30?
Did it not work? Is it command die? Oh,
Yeah.
100.
Of course.
Got it. No. Work? There we go. Ooh, that's not low.
No. No, you're going for a number much lower than 86. So,
My sister and I have the same mind about this man.
all right. So, no one succeeded in this roll.
No.
I got I got a 30. That's maybe the lowest one.
That's the lowest one, but let me
Not good
see
enough.
If let me see if our good friend Baturian knows him.
Perhaps he should perform more great deeds.
No, Baturian also.
Right.
He looks.
Get good.
Baturian looks like he's never heard of the guy either. So when
Sorry.
Zeth realizes that his fame has not preceded him, he grows a bit indignant, and then he storms off. At that point, gives the box a little bit of a, slams the lid shut in disgust and
Blessings of Ronaldo. I call after
storms
him.
off. When you say that, he looks back with showing his tusks, and then marches off. He leaps onto the back of this gigantic swine, this gigantic boar, that's tethered, about 30 or 40 feet away, and kicks it into a gallop and rides off. It is actually easily the size of Vasana's bison.
Wow.
And as he's like going away, Vasana will just call out, "We'll keep an eye out for you."
Ooh.
I reach one arm
what you
over
did
and kind of hug her, like.
All right. Yeah. He'll just let that one sting his ears as he goes. All right. With that, Viturian, he says, "Well, thank you. You're earning your keep today. This is disreputable sort coming to me, trying to shake me down, I'm sure. But
why would
Oh,
they
you
come
don't
to
even
you?
have to pay me for that. That's just enjoyable to get rid of fodder.
he said, I don't
Yes,
know.
is there any truth?
You do have to pay me for that. Just so you know.
He says he had some convoluted story about one of his men gambling away a treasure to another merchant here who left earlier today. I purchased a box of these curios and from a friend with from that merchant, a fellow named Pandol of Nochet. And I told Pandol I would resell these items at in Pavis to a
Why do I
gentleman.
Does
feel
Sorala
like I'm
recognize
at
the
the
name
royal-
Pandal?
What's that?
Does Sorala recognize the name Pandal? She's from Nochet. That's Sorala.
Oh
is.
yes. Why don't you make a
she
roll?
recognize the name?
Yeah, make a reputation roll there. Try for low.
63.
Okay. The name vaguely rings a bell. All right. What is this going on? There's a little video here.
Oh, yes.
What am I doing here?
It looks like we hosted
All right. Okay,
Hey,
so with that, he says he had some convoluted story about one of his riders selling something that wasn't his to sell or being swindled. It was, I lose track of the details. And anyway, he seemed adamant that I possessed it.
Muted?
Oh, I think we lost you, Jason.
Yeah.
Muted.
Yeah, we've.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you may be muted somewhere. Or maybe the microphone's come unplugged. I thought suddenly I lost all my sound, but I think it's just microphone. Still not hearing it. Try plugging it on and off again. So good. Technical
So
difficulties,
Vasana
that's a
is
good spec.
short.
Sound is short.
What do the
Vasana-
rest of your characters look like?
Yeah, that's why
Sorala's
she rides
kinda
a bison.
Laura Croft. Oh yeah, she's the bison. So yeah, Sorala reminds me of Laura Croft. She's wearing like linen armor, like
Mhm.
I guess pressed
Pretty
layers
dope.
of linen. She got a little short sword.
I've got like brass
She's like yeah.
plate on, I think. Yeah.
Mhm.
When I wear armor, at least. So I look pretty.
Mhm.
I wear my wealth. Jason, you can try refreshing the browser, and that might help you as well. But yes,
Yes, I'm pretty sure we're going to see Zeth again down the road.
yeah, I get that feeling when I.
I feel
What else was
like why would someone tell him that our guy had the
Are you hearing me? Oh,
yes, we
There we
Yes.
are. Hey, all
Sorry about that,
right.
folks.
Great. Yeah, weird. Well, yeah, the technology is. I'm kind of used to technology being a bit tricky here. Okay, so you could all hear me. What did you miss out of our? Like, where did I cut out?
You were
You were
explaining.
explaining
trinkets purchased.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, Biturian says he bought a box of trinkets from this guy Pandol, who left earlier in the day, going back to Boldholm or parts west. And he's going to sell them to some people he knows in Pavis. I guess it's clear that whatever this Tusk Rider wanted is not in the items there, so you should be clear. And so at that point, he says, "Then let us ready ourselves for the road, because it is going to be hot and it will be a long journey across the plains."
Very well. Let's hope we don't run into that wild-eye fellow again.
I'm sure that'll be the last we see of him.
Of course.
Dot, dot, dot.
Yes. There's absolutely no reason
Mount
to
my
give an
new writing zebra.
Yes.
All right. So cool. So then, you guys, what would you like to do? Biturian is sort of packing up stuff, loading it onto some pack animals, some mules, and I guess he's
I'm
probably
going to help
got
check
some
over the cart
beavers.
and make sure everything's secure and getting ready to go.
Okay. And yeah, there's carts, there's some animals to do things. He's got a baboon as his henchman. Normally he travels with a much larger group of people and usually has a small mercenary force with him. But in this case, it looks like he's on kind of a lean travel expedition. He's actually kind of older, and so by now he should have retired and set up shop somewhere, but he keeps doing it, keeps crossing the plains over and over again and exploring. I guess he has travel in his blood.
There you go.
So,
Whatever will help get the process along.
Yeah,
All right,
I'll
then.
pack up all of her stuff and get Tatanka ready to roll.
okay, you notice a few of the other merchants and traders are, they look a little relieved that you got rid of this Zeth fellow. And at that point, anyway, before too long, you are able to put the block behind you, and you strike forth, riding across to the northeast towards in the direction of Pavis. Ultimately, I'm going to do a little time. Time passes, and you find yourselves a few days away. You are on your way. You've passed the Tourney Altar, which is sort of midway. It's, well, maybe about a quarter of the way from the block to the city of Pavis. It's an outdoor stone amphitheater that's used as a site for ritual dueling. Pretty famous place. Fortunately, right now, it doesn't look like there are any fights going on, so it's a little quiet. And you otherwise make your way fairly uneventfully as you go. And of course, the rhythm of the road is both a comfort to some and dreary to others, depending on your point of view. So you can decide to while the time away however you might. Is there anything you would like to do while you're traveling?
Does anyone want to play a game? I'm bored.
Yes.
Well, how could you be bored? The beauty of the earth is all around us right now.
There is a great deal of earth around us.
It's,
That's
in
the
fact, that
problem.
is
It's
all
just
that
Yeah,
it's just
quite
quite
it's all scorched,
Isn't it?
cracked earth, dry as a bone, and a lot of sand as well. But earth nonetheless.
Pick up the sand and run it through my fingers.
Once it was fertile, and now it is quite desolate. So, you notice, let's see, I think, does anybody have the animal handling skill?
Do I? No, I do
I
not.
feel like I might.
I
Probably
think
not.
that somebody's
I have-
probably got it.
I have
I do not.
tried, but I don't think I have animal handling.
All right.
No.
Nope.
Let me just look for handling.
I can ride them. I just can't keep care of them.
I can
All right,
herd,
yeah,
I can ride them, yeah.
Well, one thing you do notice, the Biturian, he comments every so often that most of the pack animals are seeming a little restless and a little, they're a little surly. And they're a little less willing to get back on the road when you stop for breaks, and they seem to be just generally lower energy than they normally might be. So the going seems to be a little bit slower than it was prior to the block.
Even the
Can I
animals. are
hurt them a
bored.
little bit faster?
Poisoned?
Sure, you can try that. Ernalda, you are, as a priestess of the earth, you are also a priestess of all that dwells within and on the earth. A pretty broad category, but you are connected to the herd goddess through an associated cult, so you can try to do that. So why not just make a charisma roll for that to just show
Okay,
how you would
and
influence them, and tell me what you would be doing.
I would attempt to try and become basically the lead of the pack, kind of like you do with horses when you're bringing them around, and just try to get them to follow me out of their natural habit. Everything is D100, right?
Yes. So just try to roll low.
I rolled a 37.
And I believe Yanios charisma.
My charisma is 17.
Okay, so yeah, I was giving it a multiplier of like ×5, which is a quick and easy way to determine if something happens. So you had an 85% chance of success there, and you nailed it with 37. So yeah, the animals.
Okay, I'm already in love with this system. This is awesome and easy.
Okay, so you find yourself pretty easily, pretty able to get the animals to behave a little bit more. But you can sense that they're a little. It's not really they're feeling crabby, but they're definitely feeling a bit of some kind of distress or uneasiness. So just so you know.
Visana is going to keep an extra eye out for anyone, like see if anybody's maybe following us or paralleling us. Just kind of do a little bit maybe wider circuit as we're traveling.
Funny you should mention that. I would like you to make a scan roll. And if you want to augment that with any sort of a rune or a passion, you can do that, although you could also just make an unaltered scan roll if you want.
Okay.
Listen roll would also be acceptable if you would prefer that, if that's a better one.
So Yenioff lets us know about this, right? Sorry, Brett. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. Can I maybe use my movement rune to like take a quick assessment of everywhere around here right quick?
Sure. Yeah, so what you would be doing is basically there are a couple of, like, the great thing about the runes is you sort of get to build your own, like, decide how you want to approach things. So in this case, you might use something like truth to see the truth of the matter, like what is hidden to you.
Oh,
or you might use movement to say, is something moving out there? It's pretty simple. So that's one of the flexible aspects of the game system, is that you can.
Well, let's do truth to see if I see the shifting sands of those following and whatnot. But
all right, so make a roll of your truth rune.
I failed it.
All right. Did you follow it, or you just failed it?
I failed. I needed a 70. I got an 88. So I know that's a minus.
Yeah, so you're going to be at a -10 to your scan roll, or your listen roll, whichever you wanted to roll.
I'm going to do scan because it's better. So I need to hit 40 or better.
Sure.
Oh, 31. Got it.
All right then. The rune fails you in this case, but unfortunately your eyes do not. And you're looking out over the little bit of heat haze. It's the middle of the late afternoon on the second day since you left the block. It's getting a little, like, just the bit of dusk is coming, and you see off in the direction from the block a cloud of dust, an awfully big cloud of dust, but it's not a wide cloud of dust, but there's definitely one growing. Based on your copious and extensive experience as a mounted cavalry soldier, you recognize that the size of that cloud of dust means that there's probably multiple animals riding in just one or two columns. And they're moving fast enough to kick up a lot of dust.
And we have magic that's hindering our animals?
Unknown. Has anybody said anything about it?
Did Yenioff...
I was about to say, Visana, something is not quite right. I'm attempting to herd the animals, but they do not want to head in this direction, and it is not just for lack of wanting to travel. They're uneasy.
That is because we're being pursued, I believe. Whether it's their
lovely.
trepidation at that, or something being affected because of that. I don't know if they are using magics on us.
Why would they be
Perhaps we should
following
attempt
us?
to obscure them.
Well, off the top of my head, I would say that it's probably Zeth. It is a very,
Who?
I don't know, it's
Who?
I'll die.
I've never heard of that, man.
The Tusk Rider.
Oh,
Tusk
right,
Riders.
yes.
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 I agree he was not worth remembering, but I believe he might be coming back to reclaim that which he believes has been lost. But that is just
Right.
a gut
All right,
feeling.
Right.
If anyone else would like to make a scan roll at this point, by all means do so. Now that you've had it pointed out, cloud of dust on the horizon over there.
Over there.
Oh, I have a
Lovelace.
30 in scan. Dang it.
Nope.
I'd like to use
89.
Harmas is looking the opposite direction.
Where? Can't see it.
I was trying to say, like, pointing him in the right direction, like this.
Yeah, Baturian, he can't even see either. His baboon is also, like Harmas, looking off. Like, I don't see anything.
There's no one there.
Yeah,
He is like
I
a
don't
real,
know.
like, just a baboon.
Yeah, in Glorantha, baboons are an intelligent race, and they they have their own society. It's a little planet of the apesy. They often hire themselves out for merchants. They dwell in these regions. They have a whole ape city that's pretty cool. And there's an image of it in the new rule book somewhere that's pretty fun. And yeah, they are actually kind of spiritual as well. They're deeply into spirits and shamanism, and so yeah, they speak. A lot of animals and creatures speak in Glorantha because the gods have elevated them to this status, so that they can be, elder races and exist alongside humanity. Yes, equals.
How fast or how long, Vasana, until our enemies catch up with us?
Do I have a guesstimate?
Sure. You think probably within half an hour or so. I mean, there's the area that you're at is pretty flat, and you're heading towards an area near it. It's near what's called the dead place, if I recall correctly. Look at the map.
Do I think that we can possibly get to it before they overtake us?
Yes. Well, you're going to be entering an area that's full of the. It's got some foothills that lead up to it and around it, and Baturian, as I mentioned, seasoned traveler in this area. He says, I know of a gully where we might find refuge. It's a narrow place. I hid myself there almost 20 years ago. It should still be abandoned. It's
defensible.
What's very defensible, yes. Basically a closed circle with a very narrow passage in, so that a couple of good fighters could hold that indefinitely.
Better there than
It's not
nothing.
possible. They're already waiting.
He says that, well, it's ahead, so it would be hard for them to have gotten ahead of you. And Baturian says, yes, and because if we're out here and they catch us, we're as good as dead if they outnumber us to a degree that we cannot handle.
Well, there's no way their weapons can be as good as ours. Nowhere near could their arms be as strong as mine own.
Vasana.
Of course, Hammond.
Yeah, that's
You are equal to 10 men. Yes.
That's right.
And 20 if you were behind a wall, Harmast.
Or 4 zebras, roughly. Done the math.
War zebras are indeed formidable. Let us make haste for the fort.
Shall we pick up the pace?
One day.
Yes,
I'll have one.
Vasana would like to cast a little magic on her bison. Like to throw a little mobility on there and double the speed. Maybe kind of get out ahead of the caravan group a little bit, just to make sure that all things are clear at this pass.
Okay, yeah, then
Not completely split the party up, but just kind of go ahead a little bit.
Yeah. The Baturian gives you directions to the place. He says, look for this little rock, and right next to it there's a slightly smaller rock leaning on it. It's almost like a a mother with a child leaning on it. So he gives you that direction. He says where the foothills turn kind of reddish, and there should be a pass near those two rocks. You can enter there, and it's a almost a sheltered amphitheater.
Cool. So that's just one magic point. Yes.
Yes, and make a roll of your power times 5 or less to see if you can successfully cast that spell.
So that would be a 75. I'm going to go ahead and use my movement rune because it seems that having a rune of movement can make you
since
go
you
faster.
have not successfully invoked a rune earlier, then you're fine.
I did it.
All right. So, did you get a regular roll or anything special or exceptional?
No, I did not get 1/5, so that's a crit. So no, I just got a regular, so that's plus 10%, right?
Plus 20, in fact.
Oh, plus 20? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Ooh.
69. So yeah, we're moving good and right now.
All right then. So your bison kicks in at a much higher rate of speed and rides ahead. You find the area pretty easily without much need for, you don't need to make a roll or anything like that. And you enter it. You notice behind you your little caravan is picking up speed as well to try to follow. And you enter this between where these sort of it's almost a inverted V-shaped entrance where you come in and it's open to the sky, but the rocks are kind of closed in above. So, and there's a very narrow pass that just you and your bison are able to make your way through.
Okay, she will call out a challenge, basically saying, if there are any here who wish to surprise attack us, do so now, before my compatriots come and steal the glory of killing you.
All right, you can, you don't hear anything. If you want to try to make a listen roll for that, or a scan roll to see if you can spot anything in here. I'm assuming you're going further in?
I'm just going to kind of check out just right at the entrance. So it's a 15 out of a 50. No, this is just a regular
success. All right, well, you don't see anything moving, and you notice, though, that, it kind of goes back, opens up a bit. There's a few branching pathways that head off, but it's one of these instances where the rocks have sort of come in above, and what used to be probably was water running through here at some point has sort of made it so there's shelter. So you seem, based on the way the rocks are around the thing, it seems like it would be extraordinarily difficult for somebody to come over the edge and try to attack somebody in there. And from inside, it's pretty fortified. It's a miracle. There's not like if this were another place, there'd probably be a camp there or something.
Right.
Okay. But just the fact that there's probably no source of water nearby makes it a little less than awesome as a regular fixed base.
Okay, well, Vasana's just going to...
Sorry, go ahead.
What?
There is scan and there is search.
Yes.
Search is different than scan. Could I search for traces of people being here before?
Okay, when you get there, that would be where you'd actually looking at the ground, you're sort of turning over rocks, you're peering at things. Scan is looking off at the horizon. I mean, basically the easiest way to tell the two is search, you're looking down, scan, you're looking up. That's where you notice movement off in the horizon or some tiny detail. Okay. Search is where you're casing someplace or tossing it, looking for clues.
Okay, when I get there, I definitely want to search. But go ahead, Vasana.
Okay. All right, then. So who would be next? Vasana, you are the most mobile. I'm assuming everybody else is... You've all become noticing or quite aware of this cloud of dust traveling to you as the sky is beginning to take on a sort of a reddish hue, and the sky above is turning that sort of purple that you get out in the desert. So it's it'll be fairly dark pretty soon, and out here in the plains it can get very, very dark with only the moon and the stars to light your way.
Yeah, Vasana's just going to familiarize herself with this brief area, so she, just tactically knows where to go for whatever comes up, and then kind of time it. So I'm going to cast, what is it, Shield? I think that lasts like 15 minutes or something.
Sure. Yeah.
So she's going to, like, you know, hold that until, like, whatever's pursuing them is like 5 minutes away.
Yeah, that would make sense. You don't want to blow that spell before, or rather blow the rune points that spell will cost before it's absolutely necessary. Okay, so the rest of you are back at the with the caravan, and you are increasing in speed, and you notice that the distance between seems to be growing much less than it was prior, and based on your the way you watched Vasana ride off and create a little cloud of dust, you suspect that they're also using some movement magic to try to speed up.
As long as we're boosted with Vasana's rune, we should book it.
Yeah, well, that's what she did was she cast that on her bison only. So that was cast on her. The rest of you are on your own, so to speak, unless you want to do your own.
She knew that y'all would be able to get there, so...
Yeah, the
I trust my sister's capabilities.
All right, as you are riding, the baboon, his name, the Harriet, he starts sort of hooting and looking really distressed. He mutters something to Biturian, who turns and his eyes go wide as well. Anyone noticing or looking back?
I'll take a look back. I want to see who our enemies are.
Yeah, you start to see them quite clearly now, and you notice the line, rather than a small column, almost a spearhead of riders, you could tell it's definitely Tusk Riders. These big, gigantic boar creatures with these sort of rough-looking guys in leather armor and bronze armor on them, weaving spears and shields and moving forward very rapidly. They then fan out, and you can see that there's almost a dozen of them, maybe, which seems some pretty long odds. And then they split at a certain point. I'd like you to make a scan roll, Harmast, if you can.
I can indeed. I'm looking for 35 here. So those Tuscan riders.
This will be an easy roll, so actually double your chance of success.
Nice, that's a success.
Okay. What did you get? A special success or a?
Yes. I was looking for 75, and I got 31. So that's pretty good.
Okay. All right. It's still just a normal success then. Yeah.
Normal regular.
Yeah. Just a plain old success, but that's good. You notice that one of them has got a somebody on the back of the his riding double, and actually riding double is a bit of a kind word. Somebody is draped over the back of his boar, his tusker, and it looks like that person's hands and feet are tied, and so they're sort of draped over and lashed to the saddle. And they're kind of bouncing along, not terribly comfortable, it looks like. And the one that you see has got this person on the back looks vaguely familiar. The one-eyed fellow that you saw earlier, a couple of days ago.
Whose name I can't remember. He had the eye, and he was the man that spoke to us, and I'd never heard of him before. Ring any bells? He rides the Tusker things.
Yes! Writing.
Yes.
Harmast, hurry!
So that's the one. Right there. It's him and some others. There's about a dozen of them or so, and we need to probably get into cover so that I can smite them to the fullest of my potential while not being smitten myself.
All right. At this point, we're basically moving into a chase, which I would like you to... I'm going to just abstract this. There's a whole system in place, but I want to keep it a little simpler. So basically, let's take what is the fastest of your dexterities of those of you who are your movement rates rather. So that would be probably Harmast with his zebras. They'll have
zebras,
a
move of 12.
Yeah, they'll have a move of 12, which is great. And the Tuskers, they have a move rate of Tuskers move of 10. So you're in luck. You guys are going to be moving slightly at a better rate, but you want to stay with the caravan, of course, which means you're going to be probably moving at a slightly less than awesome speed. So is there any sort of thing you can do to speed yourselves up, or any sort of magical influence?
I have mobility. It's a spirit magic. 1 point. There's mobility.
That's the same spell that Vasana used, so that would speed you up. You could throw it on, like, you could drain your magic points entirely and throw it on, like, everyone in the group.
How far away from us are they exactly? Is this a pressing matter, or could we just...
They're going to be within archery range very soon, and some of them have...
Can I use my harmony runes, like my harmony rune skills, to like combine with his magic to get us all the enchantment? Because like Sorrel is all about teamwork and
sure.
Right? Some of our
it's
runes were
a very, very loose interpretation, but it's 3 a.m. here, so I'm in kind of what the hell mode. So why don't you do that?
Let it happen.
Yeah, Sorrel. So you start basically meditating on harmony and trying to bring your entire caravan into an alignment so that what affects one affects all. So see if you can make a harmony rune.
Oh no!
I
got 75. I got 81.
That's a bridge too far. Then
too much.
All right. So anyway, it's chaotic. It's a little disordered. As soon as the animals start sensing this crowd of porcine death coming at them, they get a little frightened and begin moving forward. So at this point, I'd like I'm going to designate one of you to make a resistance roll to just see who can move faster to get in this chase. So with Vasana out of the way, would that fall to Harmast as the true and acknowledged leader of the group?
Right. Yes. Probably.
This is your chance.
All right. So you can try to augment this with your movement rune if you have it.
Yes, movement 75%. I can try that, right? That's
all right. Yeah, and then if you succeed, that will add to your chance of this resistance roll, where basically you're taking two forces and rolling them against one another. So first, see if you can. You're successful with your movement rune. Great.
The movement rune is a success.
You've basically at this point got a 50-50 chance of succeeding against the Tusk Riders to see if they can get to you before you can get to this clearing. So, but modified, that becomes 70 with your...
my Earth rune, can I do anything to slow them down?
You could try that, yeah. You could, there's all kinds of things you can do. You could try to see if the
Sandstorm,
that would be a little...
can break under them, can become... I don't have a 90% Earth rune is the only reason I'm asking like big things here, because that seems pretty stacked in my favor.
Yeah.
Some sort of difficult terrain.
Okay, so rather than casting any like massively magical effects like affecting the weather or something dramatic, make a roll and I can describe what would happen if you should succeed. Try to get very, very low.
69 is the number of the night.
All right, so you succeed though.
Shit.
Did you succeed in the roll?
I did succeed. I have a 90%, so did not succeed by very much, by 31.
All right, though, you're fine. You put your hands on the ground, sort of like crouch and lay your hands on the ground and call to the Earth Goddess Ernalda and say, clasp them, slow them, do what you can to slow their passage. So I will say that throws another 10% in your favor, Harmast, for this roll. So you've now got an 80% chance of being able to get there before they can start
What
peppering
could
you with
possibly go wrong?
All right, let me.
Oh!
Hey! Yeah!
That is, in fact, a critical success.
Thank you. Thank you.
We'll leave for all of you. Good work. So yes, the cloud of dust actually seems to shrink a little bit, and behind the Tuskers, as if something is causing them to become a little sluggish. And you all pick up speed, and immediately you see Vasana standing near the mouth of this sort of gully in this rocky foothill area near the dead place.
It's like waving everyone in.
Yeah, and I will say one thing about the dead place is it doesn't feel awesome to be here. There's kind of there's a little bit of an unhealthy vibe to the area, but I'm sure
It's
it'll
not
be
awesome.
no problem there.
I can tell you. This feels less
Yeah,
than
I mean,
awesome.
with a name like the Dead Place, how bad could it be?
Right.
Okay, so you, I'm gonna say though, as you guys enter the area, a few arrows start peppering the mouth of the area and clatter uselessly against the stone to the entryway. So, what is your strategy for dealing with this situation? I mean, now you're basically in this gully. Varash says there's cover for us, so they shouldn't be able to shoot arrows in, but perhaps a lucky shot. So I encourage us to find cover within. And there's some.
Is it possible for us to climb a
back.
slope and get a height advantage on them?
Sure.
High ground?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's
Yes,
very
I like
rocky. It's almost, it's almost like the stereotypical Western box canyon. You can imagine, and for the Austin native, it's a little bit like the Enchanted Rocks area, where lots of rock and the overhanging surrounding areas. So with not much, just flat and uneven terrain there. So it's pretty defensible. But if something gets in, it could be a precarious situation.
Vasana will hold the pass. What's that?
How long does my Earth Elemental last for?
If you summon it, it summons until it either goes for 15 minutes or until it is dismissed or destroyed.
Okay, I'm gonna try and climb up high with them and get ready to have this as basically essentially the tank in the front when I think they're within danger zone.
All right. So what are each of you doing? Iturian, he's ushering his camels and his mules in, and the wagon, they basically just leave that outside and start ferrying their stuff off the wagon as quickly as they can and drag it into the canyon, because the wagon won't fit through the entry. It's I was a little exaggerating. It's wide enough that somebody could ride through it, or a couple of people could get through, but not much more than that. Easy enough to walk through, but definitely not a wagon. You couldn't bring a wagon through that.
Okay.
I'm going to find some cover, and I'm going to set up there with my shield.
All right. Let's see then. You, as you're getting ready, is anybody scouting at the entry?
I was going to say Vasana is going to stay down near the entryway to kind of hold it.
Okay.
So then they can cover her from ranged. But she is basically like a bit of a tank.
All right, then, Vasana, you see they all sort of form up into a big squad, and they're yelling at each other in their savage, guttural tongue. Do you speak Tusker by any chance, or Tusk Rider? I think the answer is no.
No.
No. It was
It's a filthy language.
Yes, and it's beautiful to them, I am sure. I mean, they're also, just as another reference, they got a little bit of a Klingon vibe to them. You can basically, and they seem to be rallying, and then And then as you guys are watching, as you are watching, you see 4 of them step forward off their tuskers, crouch, and launch arrows into the air above you. So I'm going to roll some attacks
Shields
on
up.
you.
Shields
up. Yeah, the only one they can see is Fasana, unless the rest of you are hiding somewhere or are visible. Have any of you got to the point where you can see them?
I don't think so. I think Sorella took cover, was going to support from ranged.
Yeah, I'm going to take the other.
Vasana was going to now. I was going to go ahead and do my. Remember, I was going to do my defensive spell when they were 5 minutes out. So I guess I would have already done that.
Yeah. So that would be. You'll need to cast. You're casting shield on yourself.
Correct.
That is a rune spell, and that costs, I believe, 1. I've got my book right here.
Can I also cast shield, or most? You said that most of these runes are available to me. Is it just the ones that are more special that I can't use?
Shield is a special spell. You wouldn't have that.
Okay.
Oh wait, I think that actually might be part of the common. It
has
not.
a swirly and a little plus sign to it.
No, you do not have shield as one of your basic spells. The basic spells.
It just says most. So.
Yeah. The basic spells that everybody pretty much knows as part of your cult are Command Cult Spirit, Dismiss Magic, Divination, Extension, which lets spells last for longer, Find Enemy, Heal Wounds, Multi-Spell, which lets you combine spells, cast them at the same time, Sanctify, which is for creating a sacred space, Soul Sight, where you can see some of these inner spirits.
You want to speak into your mic a little bit more, Jason? We're losing you just a little bit there.
Oh, sorry, I was getting away from the microphone. Spirit Block, Summon Cult Spirit, and Warding, which creates like a magical guarded space. So, Shield. Masana, you can cast. You would just basically pick whatever your highest rune is, and I would guess that would be your air rune.
Air, yeah. As the air swirls around me to kind of throw off the path of the arrows.
Sure.
Yeah. So 43.
All right then. You spend 1 rune point. Mark that down on your sheet, or keep a tally of that. And the wind catches up around you and sort of maintains this slightly a little bit of a whirlwind surrounding you to help guide enemy missiles and any enemy attacks away from you. All right. Arrows are flying. They are in the air. It's just easier for me because I like seeing your faces here to just roll some physical dice rather than clicking between screens. All right. So 1 arrow looks like it's going to hit you. Asana, you can try to parry with your shield if you've got that up.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do that.
All right. So make a parry roll with your shield.
Okay. So I rolled a 58. I needed to hit a 55. Crap.
Crap. Indeed. Yeah, an arrow strikes you despite your shield. Let me see what the effects of that are. It protects you from damage. Each point of shield gives the wearer 2 points of magical armor and 2 points of counter magic. So that's pretty good. It's just a regular arrow, though. So it is going to strike you in the left leg.
Oh, Chap predicted the left leg would be the first one to go.
Yeah, well, you rolled a 2, so let me check your hit locations for Asana.
First blood.
Oh, actually,
it's
right leg. Right leg.
Right leg.
And, damage is...
I have, I guess, 7 armor there since I have the spell up.
Okay, so damage is 6 points. So subtract 7 from that. So an arrow clatters against your leg armor. Yeah, you're pretty push when it comes to the armor. So yeah, an arrow clatters against you, and you are fine. Okay, who is doing what now?
What is the range on
so
Befuddled?
A befuddle is a spirit magic spell, and spirit
I see
magic
RD for the description.
Yes, it is ranged.
I'm also going to be throwing a javelin as soon as I can and backing up the
I'm
sun.
gonna use my sling. Sling.
Nice.
I think every spirit magic spell has a range of 160 meters. So.
Okay, well, when they're in range, I'm going to befuddle them.
Okay. So yeah, they are actually within range. You could pick one of them and try to cast that on them.
I will attempt
But
to do
you
so.
will need to step out into the.
I wanted to be hidden because you said the cart couldn't go through the alleyway
Actually,
and the
wait.
cart was parked in front.
Let me clarify. It's 100 meters or 50.
100 meters?
for
Okay.
Spirit. 50.
I
My
was
bad.
hoping to use the. I was hoping
But
to
they
use the
are
cart as a
within
little
50.
bit of cover. They're within
Sure.
50? Oh, okay. Yeah, the cart is a little bit of cover, cast my spell, and then dip around back outside.
Okay, cool. Yeah, they're going to fire some arrows at you while you do that, but you're basically going to be dodging that time. So cast your, since you're we're sort of in this loosey-goosey, like people just darting back and forth, and you're not actually physically engaged. It'll be a little unstructured, but once we get into an actual blow-by-blow combat, then we start using the actual mechanics for who strikes first and what. So you come out, they see you, and they'll start trying to shoot some arrows at you while you try to cast your spell. So roll your power times 5 to see if your spell is cast successfully.
I don't think that is. I think I have a 75 for my power.
If I remember correctly, that is indeed
Yes.
where it is.
Ugh. And that costs 2 points regardless, or only if it's successfully cast?
Let me. No, it actually you're fine. You don't. You don't
awesome.
use. Let me double check that. It's been a while since I've actually run the game.
I love spells.
See how the arrows can't even touch us.
Spell.
Must be our royal heritage.
In chat, they're saying it's nothing if you fail.
Yeah. So great. Thank you, chat people. I wasn't watching the chat, but it's good to
Chat coming in.
Yes. Thank
Glad
you,
back.
chat.
Coming in for the
Chat followers. Awesome. So yeah, you're able to cast the spell. You don't lose any magic points, but it has no effect. You can try again later. Some arrows are going to fly at you though. So do you want to try to dodge them?
I would love to try to dodge them.
All
I do
right,
not feel
then.
like becoming a pincushion today, and I am quite dodgy.
Okay. Arrow number
I have
1.
a dodge of 35, and I got a 7.
Okay, so yeah, that's actually a special success. So good for you. One arrow which would have struck you, you dart out of the way and thunk. It hits the side of the wagon where you were just recently at, and the other arrow goes wide. So yeah, you're hiding there. A few more arrows strike the ground and clatter across the ground. So what are you doing now? Harmast and Sorala? Tell me what you would like.
I'm going to.
Viturian is he's back with his animals and trying to calm the baboon down, who seems to be getting increasingly agitated about something.
Well, this
Gotcha.
is time for me to show my heroic heritage. As my father did before me. I'm going to run up to Vasana. I'm going to get my javelin. I'm going to launch it at one of the Tusker. I keep wanting to say Tuscan Raiders.
Yeah.
One of the folks going towards me.
Okay, great. Then
Tusk
forward.
Riders.
So Tusk Riders. So
Tusk
at
Riders.
this point, then so you run up next to Vasana in the entry to the gully and hurl a javelin. All right, and they of course see you, and they'll probably launch a couple of arrows at you. But you notice that a few seem to be getting back on their Tuskers. So what's your strike rank for your javelin?
Oh, my strength. Okay, my strength for my javelin is 1.
That's very, very good, because we start
That's
at
good?
low
Okay.
and go high. Yeah, 12 is the slowest, 1 is
Cool.
super fast. The only thing that
Nice.
goes faster is rune magic, which is
And
of course the magic of
light.
creation itself. So,
Cool.
So yeah, hurl your javelin. Pick a target.
That is
and,
a 9. That's a nice success.
all right, and your chance. What's your unmodified chance?
45. I was looking for, yeah.
Okay, that's pretty good. One of them does not see it coming, so I would like you to roll a d20.
Okay. That it will be
That's
a
1/5, like exactly. By the way,
Yeah, yeah.
That's a crit.
That is a
Yeah.
special success.
it's a 3.
A 3. Ah, the right leg again. So because you have basically launched this type of weapon, a javelin is an impaling weapon. It goes deep into the body when it strikes. So you take the weapon's maximum damage that you can roll. Which is,
Okay, so that's it's a D8. It says for javelin here, so it's
Okay.
9 overall. Yeah.
9 overall, and half of your damage bonus, which I think is a d4.
D4 looks like, yeah.
So roll a d2, so basically roll something, and if it's high, it's any dice, basically.
1. Yeah, low.
Okay, so then 10 points, and then now roll damage normally.
Woo!
Jeez.
That is
Just the D8.
This is nasty. Yeah, D8 plus 1, it says. Which is 4 points.
Okay, so you have just done 13 points, or 14 points of damage to this guy. Let me get my little tag sheets. I got a little sheet for the hit points and stuff. And yes, Tusk Rider 1 has taken a lot of damage. His armor absorbs some of it because he's wearing heavy leather armor with some light bronze plates, but he has taken a ton of damage. You have basically crippled him and probably pinned his leg to his tusk. So, which is pretty awful.
How fitting.
As a matter of fact, you have, was it 14 total?
Yes,
yeah,
14,
you've
yeah.
actually incapacitated his leg. So, bully for you. And
A fine shot, wouldn't you say?
He's quite hurting. Yes, an excellent shot indeed. A couple of others, the archers, will fire at you. Their strike ranks for arrows, following in behind. That's not good. They fire wide of you. Arrows clatter against the rocks to either side of you. So you deliver a decisive blow against them. First blood is drawn, and you just set them into such a dismay that they can't affect you. Apparently, they're just overwhelmed by your shock and awe of your lightning javelin. So we begin. I'd like to know what Sarala and Yanioth are up to.
Well, I'm going to use my sling on a target that presents itself, preferably one that's threatening, like Vasana or something.
Okay, and you notice Vasana, and from your vantage point, you were kind of climbing up to get to some higher ground, and you notice that a lot of them look like they're going to charge. And so it's a group of 3 looks like they're going to be riding hellbent for leather at her from where she's
I'm going
at.
to target one of those. One of those
Okay,
guys.
and Yanioth, what will you be doing?
I want to summon my earth elemental and try to get it to start grabbing people from behind them and pulling them into the earth and suffocating them.
That is Yanioth's signature move, in fact, the earth elemental pulling somebody into the ground. It can be pretty horrific. So what size earth elemental are you going to summon? I think you can summon
as large as I possibly can. It says any size of earth elemental. Any size of earth elemental.
All right, so
once summoned, Yanioth must cast Command Cult Spirit, a 2-point common rune spell to control the elemental. If successful, it will follow her orders and stay in this world for 15 minutes and then dissipate.
Okay, now you have, I believe, 4 rune points. So that means you can cast a 3-point spell to get a large earth elemental, or a 2-point to get a medium one. A 1-point earth elemental will be about human size, and it can pull a human under the earth, or human size.
Okay.
Larger than that lets you do more. The issue is casting Control Cult Spirit That is, I believe, a 1-point spell. And then you will have no...
I will spend 1 point to bring the Earth Elemental and 1 point to cast the Cold Spell if it's strong enough. Well, you said that these were... Is this the, for sure, the Seth Wildeye, the bigger Tusk person?
Yes. In fact, he's with the group. I think Harmast saw that.
Okay, then I'm gonna cast a medium-sized one, and I'm gonna try to bring him down first. So that would be 3 points of magic that I'm spending to try and go after the leader.
Okay. All right then. So make a roll of whatever your highest rune is, which I'm gonna say is probably Earth.
Not a great roll. It is. I get it. Earth is 90%, and that's a 77.
Great. You cast the spell. The ground rumbles, and a thing steps out of it. Your Earth Elemental. It is made of the stuff that is the ground around you, and it takes on a very thick-bodied form. You can sort of shape it to your will. Just as a bit of trivia note, it's a kind of a bad joke, but in the House campaign, where these characters are all based out of, Jeff's wife plays Yanioth, and she calls her Earth Elemental Dirty Harry, which is, every time. But anyway, so yes, the Earth Elemental shows up. It is there.
If I make it take on any shape or form, can I make it look like Seth Wildeye and
not that much control?
Like an evil.
I'm going to kill him next. He's the next one I'm going to maim.
So you basically create this thing. This blocky form comes and it looks expectantly at you with its blank, rocky, dirty face. Sand is drifting off of it and whatnot. Are you going to cast Command Old Spirit now?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. And which size is this? Large or a medium?
It's a medium.
Okay.
Oh, that's a 90.
So you
listen to me.
Okay, you can try again. You don't lose the rune spell. Weird, I'm getting messages.
Better?
All right, did you succeed?
Yes.
All right. Wonderful. Yes, then it turns and, faces them. What do you want it to do?
I wanted to go after Seth Wildeye and pull him into the ground and suffocate him in the most slow and torturous method possible.
Okay, you want to go after...
We gave him a chance to make the right decision. He made the wrong one, and he's putting my family in danger. It's time to end this.
Mm-hmm. All right. Okay, so then the three of them are coming at Vasana. They're riding in a sort of a wedge towards her. And Harmast, what are you doing in the meanwhile? You're standing next to her, and you've fought many times, but facing a cavalry charge is not something you really enjoy that much.
I like this is the moment where I look towards Vasana and I say, there are 3 of them.
Yes.
Yes. Right. And but I should say the 3 that are charging, Zeth is not one of them. He is way back with the rest of his group.
Yeah. I'll, I won't be outdone by Vasana because I've got a superiority complex. So I am going to unsling my shield and my broadsword and say, fine, I was just checking that you were fine with fighting these 3.
Yes, your arithmetic lessons are working, Harmast.
Slowly but surely.
Yenia, your Earth Elemental sinks into the ground, and there's like a ripple as it begins moving in the direction of where the rest of the Tusk Riders are at. Okay.
I want to run back up to my sister if I can at that point and ready my bow.
Okay, cool. Since you are not in front, Sarala, I would like you to make an easy listen roll. Double your chance to do so.
All right, let's see.
This is like dirt simple.
Where is my listen at?
So when you fail, you can feel bad about it.
Yeah, right.
It could be
I got
like
12. That
normal.
sounds like it would have worked. 35 is doubled as
70.
So
yeah, that's actually a special. You are so you're so focused forward that you will almost miss it, but then you hear Herrick, the baboon, screeching in fear, and Biturian yelling, "Back here now!" And you can hear something sort of with what you got was a special success at that modifier. You notice that you hear something scuttling across the rocks and moving, and you hear this sort of just ghastly sounding like noise, hiss coming from something that doesn't sound humanoid. And it's coming from in the like back in the box canyon.
And the Turian and the baboon have not. Are they being attacked? Or are they just scared of something?
Make a scan roll.
What is my scan? I got a 20. I'm not sure what my scan is. 35. So yeah.
Okay, you look and oh my god, you see two beings that are kind of moving on either side of the rocky wall, scuttling towards them. At first, you're like not quite sure what you're seeing because it's getting dark and there's a lot of shadows. But you recognize them as scorpion men. They are half human, half scorpion. Hideous creatures.
And I'll yell out a warning and sling one of them instead of this rider.
Right, their bodies are kind of that dull tan color, and they immediately blend into the rocks of this gully, and they raise their barbed stingers as they move forward. You know, they're basically human on top, scorpion body, lots of limbs.
Gotcha.
And they look pretty nasty and pretty dusty, and they're moving at great haste from the back of the canyon, one of those side paths towards Biturian and the baboon, who are both like Biturian. He's no slouch. He's actually a rune master, but a rune master of a trading cult. So most of his spells are about getting a really great deal and facilitating communication rather than fighting off chaos creatures.
Well, I missed with my sling, so I yell that out. Enemies behind us!
All right. Those of you who are up front, you hear Sorala yell. And at this point, let us move into what I would call our combat phase, where we're actually going to be keeping track of strike ranks at this point. So basically, here's how strike ranks work. We begin at each round has 12 strike ranks. The lower, the better. I've got a little 12-sided dice here, and I'm just keeping track of it this way. I start with 1, and if you're on strike rank 1, you can go. Any rune magic you cast starts, that always goes first. That will actually go technically before strike rank 1 if you're casting a rune magic spell. If you are doing spirit magic or missiles, those usually go faster than other combat, and then it goes until we hit 12, at which point the strike rank counter restarts. So, strike rank 1, would anyone like to do anything? The 3 of you in front, Vasana, Yenioth, and Harmast, you hear Sorala's yell, and probably Biturians as well, so it sounds like there's trouble behind as well. Maybe there are more Tusk Riders.
So can you cast like a spell and then make an attack? Or just do one
if you've got
round?
enough strike ranks.
Okay, good. So basically what Vasana's going to try to do, because we have enemies bearing down on us and some at the back, she's going to try to demoralize one of the chargers.
Okay.
And then she was going to charge to meet one of them, and then hopefully one of her siblings will take out the other one. She's going to basically be like, take the one on the right and hit the one in the center, and then try to charge the one on the left with the lance.
Okay. So very cool. So because the earth elemental is still moving, it'll kind of come out of the ground in a little bit. All right, and that will depend on how far it has to go. So there are 3 of these going. I'm just going to call them 1, 2, and 3 for ease. Vasana, which one are you casting at?
I'm gonna cast on the one in the middle because hopefully maybe its break, if it fails, what might throw off the charge of one of the other two. I don't know.
Okay. Now your strike rank is where your dex is 3. You're using a Prax. Using a spell. It's a 1-point spell.
Yes.
So there you go. So it's 1 plus whatever your dex strike rank is, which is 4.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's 2 points. I'm sorry, demoralize is 2 points.
Okay, so 5. So then on strike rank 5, you will get to go. The Tusk Riders are coming at you fast. They are. You will probably be able to. Actually, they may get to you before you're able to cast that and attack. Like you could cast or you can attack, but you're going to be involved in combat by strike rank 5.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then she's just going to cast it on one of them. That's what she's going to do this round to try to even the odds a little bit.
Okay.
So, it's
make
opposed
your
power roll.
Make your power times 5 roll to see if you can get the spell off.
I failed it by 3 again.
Okay, so nothing happens. You're just—it's not your day here.
Yeah.
All right. So Yanioth, what are you doing?
I am going to be casting Befuddle on one of the remaining people. How many of them are still standing out of the 3?
They're all riding. The spell was of no use, and the first javelin went into the. Yes, they're charging. There are 3 charging.
Can I befuddle one of their horses or whatever they're riding then, or can I only use it on people?
No, you can cast befuddle on a wild animal.
Because if I can get one of the animals to start attacking the other animals, that would be incredibly useful. If they fall off their mounts on their way here.
I do want to point out, I think you have a spell that's not. It might not be. No, sorry, never mind. I sometimes confuse the Yanioth from the house campaign with the one in the pre-generations, and she's got a lot more experience. And later on in Yanioth's career, she learns a spell called Command Swine, which is pretty powerful in situations like this.
I can use that spell in my real life. Yeah, there we go. We're both in it right away.
All right, so
you gotta roleplay me.
You can't swine.
Okay, so you're gonna cast Befuddle, classic stuff.
Yes.
All right. Make a roll. It's a 2-pointer, so cross that many magic points off if you're successful. Power times 5, so 75% chance.
I did it. Yes.
All right. So now, what is your power? It's 17, correct? You've got to succeed in a.
Power is 15. Charisma 17. Power is 15.
Okay, your power is 15.
Yes.
For Yanioth, I thought it was higher. Oh no. Okay, that's right. She's. All right. So basically, yeah, POW power, which is like your strength of character. Now, the Tusk Riders, he's got a much lower power. So what we do is we compare the two and we make what we call a resistance roll. Yours is 15, his is 10. So that means that you have there's a table called the resistance table, but I've got it all internalized, so you've got a 75% chance of succeeding. So
let's go.
Make a roll.
Oh no, Yanioth is not on her game today.
Okay, so you succeed in casting the spell, you lose the magic points, but he shrugs it off. All right, Harmas,
irritating.
What are you doing?
Vazana, you look like you've got this covered. I was thinking, Harmas is thinking about looking over his shoulder and seeing what Sarala's warning is about before I'd act. So I've got the 3 Tusker Riders in front of me, and when I look over my shoulder, how many of these Scorpion folks coming up behind us do I spot?
You can't see them because they're back a little ways in the or in
that's fine,
the
then.
canyon. You would have to like go back through a narrow passageway to see them. The
That's
only
no
reason
trouble,
Sorala can see them is because she's at a vantage point where she's kind of up high, so she's got the high ground.
Would I just have a single javelin on me, or would I have a second one that I could lob?
Oh no, you probably carry a bunch of 3, as a matter of
Yeah,
fact.
like
I think that
brace
you
or
actually
something,
do carry 3.
Okay, and I'm not
Really
close enough to
sure.
engage in melee with these folks yet, right?
You will be soon.
Okay.
But yeah, you could
Alright.
easily throw a javelin without any...
Okay, yeah, let's throw a javelin before entering melee with them.
Alright.
So let's try and do that again, because that worked out pretty well for me last time. So I'm looking for 45, which is...
And remember, you've got...
Yeah. Good.
1.
you rolled a critical. All right,
They're
then.
like a surgeon with these javelins.
All right. I'm going to see if he can try to block with a shield. No such
Rolled
luck.
9, 3,
Wow.
and 1 this game. This is crazy.
Yeah, so
Our master's
he rolled
quite
a-
on point tonight.
Yeah,
He
I
actually
am.
rolled
No! Pun damage.
All right. So the great thing about this, make a roll of where you hit him. D20.
That's D20, yeah. Let's see. I love location rolls in combat games. Oh, 3 again! Go full of leg every time.
All right,
Every
but
time.
I can tell
Their
you that
legs.
this is going to be pretty devastating. So, because this is an impaling roll and it's a critical, you actually bypass all of his armor completely. You find a place where he doesn't have armor at. So it's 8 plus 1, so that's 9, plus roll an 8 plus 1,
Ooh, 9 plus 3. There we go.
and then roll a D2.
Alrighty. Let's see. D2 is a 2.
Okay, so you have now dealt 14 points of damage, almost exactly the same.
Yeah.
But you ignore his armor, which in this case is enough to kill him. Single
Yes.
blow. He has 14 hit points. So you not only like sever through, I guess, one of his major arteries. I mean, the javelin probably just wounds him so terribly he immediately just tumbles from the back of his tusker that goes off to the side. You will have to determine which of them you managed to. Okay, you take out Tusk Rider 3. All right,
My least
excellent
favorite
work.
Rider.
They're Harmast. You're definitely stepping up. All right, as the combat goes, then the last 2, the other 2, they'll be coming at you. One of them is going to try to actually spear you, which could be really, really, very, very bad for you. And Vasana, you were still going to charge and try to meet it with your with your lance.
I was going to, yeah.
Yeah, and your strike rank with your lance is
I believe it is 70.
okay. Oh well, the SR for the lance is 6.
Oh,
So
6.
so you'll actually be going on strike rank 11. So the first Tusk Rider will go before you, and then you'll go at 11, and one will attack Harmast.
Cool.
And they're ignoring
I like it.
Yanioth because she's just she's like not even wearing armor or holding a weapon. She doesn't look like a fighter, so there's no honor in fighting her. So Harmast, one will come at you and just rides past Vasana as she's targeting with complete focus the one that she cast the spell. And he comes at you with his lance. He will hit you unless you parry or dodge.
Let's try and do that.
And remember, you can augment, you can try to get inspired by rune, you could use passion for staying alive or whatever.
Okay.
I would just say for something as important as this, you would definitely want to
Okay. I don't see. Do I know what my parry is? Oh, sorry. Do you know what my parry
yeah.
skill would be?
your parry with your shield is your sword. It's quite good, and your shield it's not quite as good, but it's still pretty badass.
Okay.
Let's see. Harmast parry with a medium shield is 80%, and your parry with your sword is 100%.
Ah.
So you pick.
I like to parry with the sword.
All right, so you're gonna just put all your muscle behind it and swing to try to get the lance out of the way, or the spear rather, before it impales you. Make your roll. And do you want to augment before you roll? Tell me now. This can happen instantaneously. You basically.
Okay. I love, one of my passions is my love for my family. And, and this is my family sword right now, and I am my father's son.
And you're also fighting alongside your cousin.
My brethren.
Yes.
Yeah, cuz.
Okay.
Yeah, cuz.
So make a roll for your love of family.
Daddy, I succeed in loving my family.
All right, add 20% to your chance for your parry here, which puts it to 120%.
All right, and I rolled a 43.
Okay, that is enough to parry it. However, because I'm basically going to determine like what happens, because basically rolling with a pretty powerful attack, a regular attack and a regular parry. Let's see, I'm going to roll his damage and see what happens. What's your hit points for your sword?
My hit points for my sword, sorry, it says 12 in points to my broadsword.
Yeah, so Tusker's lance for his long spear does
Got a bad feeling about this.
So let's see what happens.
I read these rules earlier.
All right, so
Almost did.
Pretty brutal. All right. Oh, you are in luck. He rolled 12 on his damage for his lance. Or actually, wait, 13. I forgot this one. So the damage exceeds yours. So your sword takes a point of damage.
Okay.
So, which means, like there's a ragged nick in it,
right.
And you don't get the point of the lance entirely out of the way, or the long spear, and it hits you in the abdomen. But I know you've got some body armor.
I do. My abdomen armor is.
Oh wait, no, chest. My bad.
Chest. Okay.
You've got 6.
My chest is 6. Yeah.
So yeah, it like you basically try to get it out of the way, you twist your body and it scrapes along your breastplate, but doesn't penetrate. But that feels pretty close. Meanwhile, the other one riding at you, Basana, with the crash, you two come together. So his long spear comes at you, trying to find purchase in your soft human flesh. It's going to hit if you don't parry.
I am going to attempt to parry. I'm going to try to parry with my shield, and I'm going to use my movement rune to make a little bit quicker movement. Be able to kind
You've already invoked your movement rune for this encounter, so you can basically only use a rune once in an encounter. And then that effect will be good if you need to do anything that involves moving. You still get that bonus, but in terms of other stuff, no.
Okay. Well, I will not fall prey to a Tusk Rider such as this. I'm going to use my honor passion because I do not lose, and that's just about that. So I'm going to try to do that.
I'm guessing no.
Oh, no. I want that noise. I want to clip that sound.
I'm guessing no.
So that's what I found my 9, so I threw it. It's going
so
shit, man.
Negative 10 to your parry.
So I need a 45 on my shield.
Yeah. Or your weapon. I mean, you can try to. You succeeded?
Got it by 1.
All right, I'm going to roll for damage to see how much, with a crash, his long spear hits your shield. Oh, is going to be thunderous. He does 17 points to your shield. How much is your shield worth?
12, so it takes 5?
Yeah, your shield takes 5, and 5 go to a body part somewhere. 18, that's your
left arm, which I have 7 armor right now.
So you're fine. You know, it you crash. You actually, since your shield is there, I mean, it goes through your shield, and you can actually see the tip of his lance like scraping against your armor.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't draw blood, and you twist, and his lance pulls free. And you go, and now at the end of this combat round, it is you, Vasana.
Okay.
You can strike with your lance.
All right. Well, I am going.
I mean, technically, since you're lancing, it's practically simultaneous. But
simultaneous, yeah. Okay. Right. And you can invoke passions more than once, right?
Yes. You.
Okay.
Well, you've already got your honor passion. Oh, your honor passion is not active, so you can try again. You didn't.
Yeah, I'm going to try to reclaim my honor.
Okay.
Oh my god!
What happened?
I failed by 1.
Okay, so
3 rolls tonight. I failed by 3 or less.
All right, so your
I'm lancing
your
at
attack is
-10.
Okay. Make your roll.
I passed with the -10 by 4.
Okay, so yeah, it's pretty binary. It's either you passed or there's no like margin unless it's special. So you do succeed though.
Okay.
He is and he does not parry or dodge.
Oh, he doesn't.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he tries, but he fails. He tries to bring his own shield in range.
So that means I do 1d10 plus 1 plus 3d6.
Yeah, and roll your hit location for where you hit him.
Please be in the face. 19.
19 is in the head. So good for you. Roll your damage. This is going to be brutal.
Oh boy.
Okay, so 1d10, so that's 4, plus 1 is 5, plus 3d6. Now, is that plus 3d6? That is from the bison damage bonus, right?
That's your bison's damage bonus.
Okay.
Basically.
Okay.
Your human damage bonus.
All right, so 12.
I'm guessing it's a lot. Oh, 12 is all? Oh.
Yeah, I didn't roll that well on damage.
Okay, well, fortunately for you, he does have 4 points of armor. He's wearing a leather helmet with a little mask over it. His chest is showing. So subtracting that gives it 8. His head has 8 hit points, which means that he's exceeded by that, and he is knocked cold. He slumps off in the saddle. I mean, with a huge, like, you practically tear his helmet off. It probably goes flying. I just add that dramatic flourish, and he is knocked back off of his tusker and hits the ground with a thud. So,
Good tilt! Good tilt!
Well played.
Okay. Well played. All right. Now we get to Yenioth. What are you doing in this round?
I'm going to heal my sister, of course.
I haven't taken any wounds yet.
Oh, you haven't taken any
nobody's
wounds yet?
injured.
Okay.
No, nobody's injured
No,
yet. We're rocking.
Who's
Well, I'm not.
Careful, don't say that too loudly. The DM is still in the room with us. I want to use my longbow to fire it. I want to command my elemental to come back, Ernalda's servant to work with me and come back to me and protect me and my sister if it hasn't successfully reached the back line at all.
Okay, sure. Yeah,
Does
it's
it
only
move
gone.
independently of me? Okay.
It's been moving for one round. You can you cast your command.
Okay, I'll let it keep going then. If it's only been one round, I'll let it keep going. Can I? Okay, so I have a dance skill, and I know that she loves to dance. Is it possible to dance and fight at the same time? Like, picture River in Serenity, where she's like dancing around with her battle axe and like trying to clear a whole room.
Confuse them a little bit or try to do things. And in answer to a question that was fielded, there is no luck stat, but there is like a power times 5 roll. So, and swords can break with enough damage is done or on a fumble. So.
Okay, I would like to
There you
combine the movement of dance with my battle axe and run out.
Awesome. Okay, so yeah, there are. There's only one of them left now of the 3 that charged. The other 2 have been incapacitated. One's got a, he's out cold with a, or actually he's dead, and just a large pool of blood is formed below him, and the other is bleeding from a huge.
Harmas will never let us hear the end of it if we don't get at least one. He'll rub it in our faces until the end of
Winning so
time.
far.
And the other one, he's whirling around so that he can sort of. I think he was the one that was coming after Harmas, so he's whirling around so that he can attack one of you. But you can do what you will.
Okay, so do I combine the dance of 65% with battle of 35%
So
and make my
basically, battle is tactics and strategy.
Okay.
That would not be.
Okay.
You'd just be going for that. So basically, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be using your dance as a skill to try to augment your attack. And
Okay.
so, make the skill roll if you can.
Okay, we got a 55.
All right. Let's see what happens.
Is that your battle dance? Like popping dollars off of the club?
Okay. Are you successful with your dance roll?
Correct. I am successful by 10%, yes.
Okay, so add 20% to your chance of your attack.
Okay.
And I think
Don't know. No, I don't think that does it.
Well, now you're down to 48 with that.
Right.
I do not
So
think I
you-
succeeded.
What'd you roll?
68.
No, that's
20%.
your battle.
Okay.
It's 20% added to your battle axe skill. So your battle axe is 55 plus 20 is 75.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was looking at something else for the skill. So yes, I did succeed then. Sorry,
All
for
right,
having a
then.
weapon
You
and not a
won.
spell in the game so far. Got it.
All right. He does
Well
not
struck, sister.
parry because he's holding a spear,
Not bad, I suppose.
which is not that useful when it's out of line. So make a roll to see where you hit him, and add 10 to your roll as well, because you're basically, or actually, rather, roll a d10 for where you hit, because you might, you're going to probably hit him below the waist, because he's up high on this gigantic warthog from hell.
It was a 9.
All right, that is
29.
that is the abdomen. Make a roll of your damage.
Sorry, it says 1d slash 1d8. Is these for different hands, or because it's 1d8 plus 2 plus 1d4? Is that accurate?
Yes. So, roll the 2 dice. The 1d4 is your damage bonus because you physically fit.
There's a
and
total of
strong and
11.
size. All right then. Subtracting 7 or subtracting 4 for his body armor means you do 7 points. He only has in his abdomen. He's only got 5 in his abdomen.
Right
so
in the
he is
abdomen.
incapacitated. So you basically hit him low, probably in the hip or even in the somewhere. I'll let you decide where exactly you hit him. It's
Hit him in the
somewhere
dick.
along his belly button and above his leg.
You know exactly where I was going with that. Go
And you
front swing and then kick
pierce
it
his
off and
armor.
peel it out and then just yell outwards. "Rah!"
And he crumples and falls off of his board. The 3 Tuskers are dismayed because they've of course seen their masters get wiped out very, very quickly in
Can I
battle.
point my
and
axe
they
at them
start
like you're next?
scurrying off. In the meantime, the creatures in the canyon, and we cut to Sarala, bravely looking down at these scorpion men as they approach Turian and the baboon servant, Harry. I keep forgetting his name.
Are they gonna run away?
Harry.
Are they going to
what's
try
that?
the Bestiary and the baboon? Are they running away?
Well, they're
they
kind
staying
of
and
backing towards the entry to the thing. So, what are you doing? You see them, they're kind of retreating, and the creatures are moving rapidly at them. They're going to be moving faster than
What I'd like to do is sort of like see if there's a way to keep the scorpion folk coming towards us, and then as we get towards the entrance where Vasana and Parmast are, like, we've got. I mean, like, do we know what these creatures are? Like, do we have any knowledge of what they are?
You're a very, very knowledgeable person, Sorala. Let me take a look at your skill list, and I will see if you've probably got a very high chance of knowing something about it.
Sorala's clever.
Yes. Actually, you don't have anything specific, but make a roll of your intelligence times 5 or less, which is basically 100%.
A 96.
So, if you
I got a 96.
You rolled a 96?
Yeah. Oh, but
I
my
was
against
just-
is 20, so 100 go.
Okay, I was just literally saying, if you roll anything below a 96, you succeed. But unfortunately, you don't know that much about these guys. Maybe you were absent the day that your the head scholar gave his stirring lecture about the ecology of the scorpion folk and how to fight.
Scorpion folk, they seem dangerous. What I'd like to do is like get them to come towards the closer to the entrance, and then see if we can't get them to fight. Like, do Scooby-Doo them, where you get both of your enemies to fight, and then you sneak away.
Well, you're kind of trapped between them if they come through the imagine it's basically a narrow box canyon that sort of
I
twists
just want to
a
get them to
little
start
bit
fighting the
over.
Tuskers or something. Like, if we can, like, if I can use my sling to like continue to goad them on, or to keep them coming, and while I make my way slightly ahead of them towards the front.
Okay.
Then we escape in the dust cloud that ensues.
That's what I'm thinking.
All right.
Like, if they start waiting, there's 12 of these.
Well,
Tusker
there's
guys.
We can take them. There's already 2 dead.
there's 3 dead. Well, one
Three
is
dead.
incapacitated. He's lying on the ground, right,
Arithmetic is
bleeding out
hard.
from a rather ignoble injury. And 9 of them are hanging back, including their leader, Zeth, who, unbeknownst to him, he doesn't have such a great perception. The ground is sort of rumbling and cracking as something moves towards him, a bit at a time. There's a movement rate. Oh yeah, he's pretty slow. So because he's an earth elemental, so it's inching its way across the terrain towards them, moving as fast as it can, but underground takes a little while. So I need to take a quick step away from the
No worries.
camera for a moment. I'll let you all strategize and then let me know what
Yes.
you plan on doing. Okay? And Sorala, you definitely are able to herd Maturian and Herrit
Wow.
to basically back up towards where the others of you were fighting near the entrance to the cavern. And all of the goods are scattered as they realize, what good are these wares if we cannot survive? So I will be right back, okay?
No worries.
All good.
Mm-hmm.
So, whilst we're on this short break, I remind you guys, in just, 45 minutes time, we're going to be giving away the 5 RuneQuest Bestiary PDFs, so stick around in chat to be given the chance to win one of those. And thank you to Madame Gandalf for the host and for the raid. Welcome in, guys. How's this going for us, guys, so far? I'm rolling
this
like...
system. I love
It's
this
rolling
system.
hot.
Yeah, it's super cool, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Will, you're
Yeah.
rocking it tonight.
I think I rolled a 0.
I got lucky on that last hit, but
3,
other than that, it's been pretty
9.
shitty.
I haven't rolled anything.
I've been rolling crazy.
I want
yes,
one of
this
those
is-
free books
this is-
now.
Yeah, this is a lot of fun. I really dig this. The whole being able to boost using multiple sources, like you have your runes and your passions and your
Right,
skills,
right.
and the fact that you can use all of those things to augment most roles. That's a lot of fun because it's like in D&D, it's like, oh, I have my skills, and those are over here, and then I have my combat, and it's over here, and there's separate pillars. But I like that this brings it all together, and like, you know, it just feels like a more complete character.
Yeah. I
It makes
the love of
more
my
sense
family.
the way it kind of.
It's awesome.
Yeah. I love how you're like, I succeeded at loving my family. Sometimes I have to make sometimes I have to make that role in real life too, so I can understand.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
50-50.
Yeah,
All
pretty
right.
50-50 today. Like,
It's all tails, yeah.
So amazing. It's starting to get light out now.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, it starts getting
Yes.
light at about 4 a.m. here. So
Let us summon the dawn.
yes.
Rosy fingered them.
Okay, so I may just seg into the next day without any hassle at all. It'll be wonderful. All right, so we are on again, I'm assuming, or you guys keep pausing?
We're all good.
All right, everybody is watching so much. So I'd like to know what sort of brilliant plan you've concocted since I was away.
Oh,
hit them with our stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'll the
Hit
Sana
them
will yell
till
out, like,
they're dead.
I can hold the pass if y'all want to focus on the. So you got the Earth Elemental out there. Sana's up there up front. Somebody wants to go help Sarala. I think we can hold the pass up here.
Hamas
Yeah.
can like peel away from Basana and help Sarala out. So that'll be my next sort of action, I think.
Yeah, it seems like these guys are no great shakes.
Right.
So then.
I mean, it's possible if they see the Scorpion, they might run or something. Well,
Okay. All right. So this is where things go in the next round. The Tusk Riders are. They look like they're huddling out there. They've seen 3 of their their warriors like humiliated in a single round of combat, killed. So they recognize you as no slouches when it comes to the killing things department. So it looks like they are conferring. You can hear loud shouts as what you're guessing is that is the one making the most noise, and they're all shouting at each other in some sort of language, demanding to be heard, and there's a lot of fierce glares back in your direction. But for now, it's sort of stalemated. Harmast, you race through the narrow passageway into this sort of box gully area, and you can see you practically run into Viturian and Parrot, the baboon, as they're coming towards you guys, like backing away fearfully, and facing them are 2 scorpion men who are like half walking on the walls of the ravine. You know, their pointed legs whipping into the terrain as they come. They are using, let's see, they're actually armed, these guys. They have rough clubs. And they look nasty as can be. I won't repeat the previous description of them for brevity. But yeah, they look pretty dangerous. So what are you doing? You see them coming, and they look like they mean business. Their faces, their inhuman faces, are full of rage. I have a picture of them, but I have no idea how to share that on the screen. Is there a way to do that? I mean, I could just show. You know, here's a. There's a scorpion man for you. Pretty horrible.
Yeah. Ooh.
It's pretty nasty.
Thanks.
And they're scuttling at you and moving. So,
Well, they're like lamias, but scarier.
They're pretty nasty. Harmast, you are pretty fast. So if combat ensues, you'll go first. What do you do?
Cool.
And Sarala, you're up high. You have this advantage point. You see Harmast is now face to face.
I'll support Harmast. Attack versus attacking.
All right.
Yeah,
so then,
I love a javelin at one of those things when I get close.
while the stuff is happening outside, then let us move into a combat round in the gully itself. So I'm going to start at strength rank 1. Let's see, Harmast or Saral? What do you do? Any rune magic?
I'm gonna lob a javelin because this has gone really well for me so far.
All right, you've got your third javelin. I'm assuming you just carry them in a sling over your back, then you pull the third one out, ready to go. So you can hurl it close range, make your roll.
Let's do that.
And do you have any runes modifying your attack chance at this time?
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe my air rune.
Well, I think didn't you roll your love for family earlier?
Yeah.
And that was successful, right?
Correct, yeah.
So yeah, you're adding then, because you're still, I mean, Sorala is basically a member of this sort of default
family, yeah.
Okay. This is like your rival for all of your...
Right. Okay, so I'm looking for 65, and I rolled 62, which is a success.
All right. Let's see if one of them is able to dodge. No.
Good luck tonight.
Not. That's a 92, so he doesn't even see it coming. Like, you just move so quickly, there's a blur as a javelin flies at him. Make a roll of hit location. I'm going to give you a hint. They have a lot.
That's
you roll very high. You got an 11?
7.
7. Okay, that strikes them in the left foreleg. So,
always go for the legs, as my father taught me. Alright,
and that's a regular hit.
Oh, minimum damage.
Okay, and that's with your damage bonus as well, the D2.
Oh, do I add a D4, yeah?
D2.
D2, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 3.
Okay, so 3 points. Well, his dull armor manages to deflect all of that. It just hits and falls to the ground. So effective against these Tusk Riders, but somehow maybe the magic is gone from this particular action. So on strike rank 2, let's see. Sorala, are you doing anything?
Well, I've got a sling. That's, I think, 1. Strike rank 1.
Yeah, by all means. Right.
Excuse me. So I'm inspired by Harmast's presence. I'd like to invoke my Sorala's honor to stand alongside her battle ally here. If I can, I've got passion of honor. Jeez, 88. No, I needed to get an 80. Got an 88.
Okay,
so
it's beyond you. So that's a -10 to whatever you try to do for this turn.
Okay. All right. Then I'm going to try to attack it with a sling, in which case that's my chances 35. No, 90.
Okay, so sling stone rattles against the ground. Everybody, that loud crack when it hits maybe startles you a little bit. Not you, Harmast. You're used to the sounds of battle. And then they will move forward to try to strike at you, Harmast. I hope you've got your sword ready, and your shield, because you're going to probably need to do some parrying. All right.
Yes.
So one strikes at you with his club first. And misses. And then he, wait. His tail arcs over his shoulder and strikes at you, extending. You're in that also misses. The next one takes a swing at you. Are you going to try to parry?
I'm going to try.
Yes. He will hit you if you do not parry with his club.
Alright, so I've got I'm going to use my broadsword, 100%, and does my family still count in this?
Yeah.
Okay,
You're basically, this is you've called for an inspiration for fighting better in defense of your family. And
okay.
Like I say, Sorala is not technically family, but she's kind of like a sister.
Ooh. I rolled 100?
Okay, well, let's look at the fumble table for that.
Oh shit. You've had a 1 and 100 today. That's insane.
Right. Oh, okay. Well, he got a normal hit versus a fumble. This is going to be painful.
Oh, my good luck is being...
Yep, used it all up well.
Yep.
Right. me see here. This
Pull
is
it out.
All right.
You have no limits anymore.
Fumble, he gets normal damage on you, and you take damage, and you roll on the fumble damage. So first, this is what he rolls to you. He hits you in the 13, which is what hit location?
He hit you right in the 13, dude.
Right in the 13 is my right arm.
Okay, so he's going to do damage is...
Paging Dr. Yanny off. Paging Dr. Yanny off.
Yeah, let's see. Ooh.
The good doctor.
Oh man. Yeah, you take 8 points of damage to your right arm. Have you got so subtract your armor? How much armor?
Which is 6 points of armor.
Okay, so you take 2 points of damage to your arm, which hurts, and to your overall hit points.
Ooh.
Okay, and then his oh, and now I want you to roll on the fumble table.
Oh.
So
Is that D100?
yeah.
Let's see. That is a 47.
All
In the
right.
middle of the road.
Oh, let me see. Right. The average fumble.
An average fumble.
Okay, your armor strap breaks, and the armor on one of your hit locations goes flying off. So, it's the 14, so I believe that's the arm you just got hit in.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
so
it is.
his club just tore away your armor. The strap holding your armor to your arm broke, so the whole section of your, probably your vambrace of your arm tears loose and goes flying.
Ouch.
Let's see, and you will lose
Now I
your next
agree.
attack and parry as a result. Your arm is just smarting from the blow. So, and then his stinger arcs over from around him, and he goes back. This is the other one, and it tries to strike at you. Are you going to try to dodge?
No, I jump into it. No, yeah, I'm gonna try and dodge.
Okay, just asking.
No, it's fair. No, it's fair.
For my family!
My father.
It's
I'm
just
looking for 66 or less, and that is 28.
All right, he misses, and you are able to nimbly move your body despite the incredibly stabbing pain in your arm from that losing your armor. So now, whenever you keep track of the fact that you've got no armor on your right arm, or whether the armor has been damaged enough that it won't protect you against any blows.
Okay. Got that note.
So, we begin with a new round. We cut to outside. You see the Tusk Riders. They're all there, very slowly moving across the area as this little lump of earth continuing to move. Their movement rate is an Earth Elementals is 3, and a humans is 8. So basically, that means they move just a little bit less of a third of a human being. It's moving at maximum speed, but it's not fast. So they're all conversing, though. The Tusk Riders are all yelling at each other and trying to decide what to do. Vasana, what are you doing?
Would Vasana know if she could cast mobility on an Earth Elemental?
Yeah, you could. Yeah, of course you would. You could do.
I mean,
Yes.
I know the tactics of my sister, and I know the telltale rumble of it moving through the ground? Do I see it moving towards him?
Yeah, you guys know it's just a little. It's like one of those graboids from Tremors. You see the little earthen pile or a
Graboids
sandworm
indeed.
from Dune. So you know where it is. You know what's going on. And I'm going to assume that even though you normally have to make eye contact or be able to see it, you know that is the Earth that's moving it. So
Right.
go ahead.
Right. Do I need to touch it, or can I cast that at range?
It's that range.
Okay. Well, then
Let me double check. I will double check just to be on the safe side. Given that it's 4:30 in the morning, I'm
So good.
You were killing it.
all right. Yeah, it's ranged. So you're
Okay,
fine.
well, in that case, Vasana, since those guys are like out there and they're just kind of effing around, she's gonna like yell out just like a curse, trying to get them to come towards it, and she's gonna cast mobility on the Earth Elemental to give it a little bit more pep in its pebble. I'm
All
sorry, I
right.
was dumb.
So make a roll of your power times 5 or less.
Okay. Definitely got that.
Okay, congratulations. Yes, it speeds up with the mobility spell,
Double speed.
double speed. So yeah, it moves to the point where it's almost at a human's walking speed. Yeah. But since it's doing nothing but moving, it's actually basically sprinting. So it definitely picks up and begins moving at twice the rate. I'm
Nice.
gonna make a roll to see if anybody notices it. I'll roll some dice off camera here. Pay no attention to me.
Pay no attention to the DM behind the screen.
Everything's fine over here.
These guys don't
We're all
seem to be
fine.
noticing anything.
Yeah.
All right,
Because I'm challenging their honor.
Yeah, at this point then, they seem to make some sort of an agreement, and one of them, he looks like Zeth himself, Wild Eye, he steps forward, and he basically is doing almost the same thing to you. Like, you make that gesture, and he nods. He hops up on his tusker, gets his lance. Actually, he kind of looks at it and throws it to the side and pulls out, draws his sword, this big curved scimitar with all sorts of wicked notches in it, and like grabs the reins and kicks his tusker into a gallop towards you. You notice that the man draped over the back, at that point is knocked loose, and he was like tied with his hands in front of him and behind him, and he hits the ground and gives a painful groan, and you can see that suddenly a second later he's jerked behind as you realize he's tied to the saddle. And so Beth is charging you on his massive tusker, this thing's the size of a refrigerator, dragging a person behind him as he is approaching. So you guys, how are you gonna meet this challenge?
Well, I'm basically what I'm hoping is I'm going to sell the charge and everything and tilting with the lance. Hopefully, I'm hoping that the Earth Elemental will get to him first and like pop up.
Okay.
But I'm gonna spur Tatanka forward and go to meet him. And if it does it, then I'm gonna stick my lance through his face.
I'm going to double check and make sure about if a roll is needed for Yanni on terms of the elemental. I believe there is some sort of a roll. It engulfs low size. He's big enough to swallow. And does it need to?
With my rune of beasts, could I make the beasts from them come to us instead of like trying to get away?
You could try, but it's not going to really give you the ability to influence them.
Okay.
Like if you were casting a spell that influenced them, you could modify
Yeah.
it to be a better spell or have better range or more of a better effect. But
Hmm.
you might be able to affect one of them if it was like up in your face. You could show some sort of affinity to it, but it's kind of hard to use a rune at like, just that affinity. Basically, rune affinity is you saying, I'm in tune with this rune. No pun intended there or whatnot, rather than like, I'm going to use that to affect things. So, all right then, we cut back to like Vasana kicks it into a gallop, racing at the at Zeth Wild Eye, and you can see he's like as he's riding, he pulls his eye patch off, and one of his eyes is just a horrible blood red, all of it, not no white, no dark, just all red, and there's a pretty wicked-looking scar beneath that. Back in the cavern, what are you doing? Armest, you have lost your attack and parry for this round, so I think dodging is your probably most obvious means of survival, or an expeditious retreat.
Yes, that might also be the plan. I've got three of these things on me? Two, but I each have 2 attacks.
They each get 2 attacks around.
Yeah.
And at this point, it looks like Bestiary and Herrit will also step up. Herrit's got a little spear, and Bestiary has drawn a short sword. And they've been into the fray along with
if I have some allies by my side, I think Armast would stick in the fight. But probably dodge to try and not get speared by one of these giant pincers.
Good point. So then, and Sorala, what are you doing?
So the Betrayan and our baboon friend are fighting these scorpion folk now.
When they see their defender Harmast so brutally ineffective, I mean, they didn't get to see all of his magnificent fearing victory. So they see him throw one, it bounces off the thing, and then the other thing just tears his armor off his arm, and suddenly like knocked back and almost wildly. So, he's not making an impressive show here.
He's going wrong.
Armast. I think in this case, if there's more of them, then Sorala will draw her broadsword and join in the fight with the scorpion folk that's like fighting Jordan's fighting Harmast first.
Okay.
And she'll join into the general melee with her.
All right, so you can, since you've had enough time to think about it, you can already be like, we can assume you scrambled down the hillside and got your short sword out. You can draw your sword and run, drop your sling if you need to. And so what's your strike rank?
5.
Okay, so we'll be going on strike rank here. Victorian is actually pretty fast, so he will go before. I actually know, wait, the spear with the with Herrit's spear, he'll go first. Oh, and he actually succeeds and hits it in the 16, which is
get him.
For this guy, it's a right arm for Scorpion Man 1, and his damage is 4 points, so he doesn't do a lot of damage.
Ooh. Better than me, though.
And then on 5, it'll be Sorala. You can go, and then they'll go simultaneous.
Let's see. Alright, so 70. I don't really have any magic or anything. She's got like no combat magic. So
yeah,
she did get a 2 though. 70 is my skill there.
And a 2 is a critical. So make it,
critical.
How many were you hit?
What's that D20 roll?
Yeah.
4.
Yeah, we're taking the legs.
4.
Right, 4 legs.
Yeah, 4 of those legs.
Are you attacking the one that just got speared, or
the family way?
Yeah. I'm ganging up. Whichever one everybody else is attacking, Sorala pitches in.
Okay. Make your roll for damage.
So what's my damage? I've got D8 plus 1 plus D4.
With a critical, you're basically rolling D8 plus 1 means, and this is your short sword?
Broadsword.
Okay. Broadsword. Okay, so yeah, you're doing 9 points of damage with your broadsword. Now roll another D8 plus 1.
Nice.
There we go. That's another. So that's 5 plus 9, 14, and then I get what, a D4, an extra D4.
Yeah.
All right, there we go. It's an extra 4, so 18 total.
Nice. Damn.
All right. I need to look up something very quickly, and it is actually no way. These guys don't count as proper arthropods. For insects, like for example, for insects, you can pretty much destroy a hit location, and they don't take extra damage to their body. But these guys are not like that. They just take damage. So,
cool.
How much damage did you do in toto?
18. from the
All
broadsword. there.
right. This guy, he bypasses armor, and he has
I'm fine.
a grand total of 13 hit points. So you just leap forward and hack into him so deeply that you sever a leg completely with your broadsword. Or you punch it, I guess if you're stabbing. In impale, he rears up, you come at him with your sword, and it just slides into his leg and goes deeper into his body. And he
There we go.
gives off a horrifying hissing cry that rattles around inside his carapace and crumples, practically collapsing on top of you.
They're weak
but
in the
not-
legs.
But not crushing you. All right.
Attack the legs.
So
All right.
then we get to Scorpion Man 2, who will strike at to try to attack Armast again.
Let him
He
try.
will go with his club on strike rank 5. Is going to hit you, Armast. You can try to dodge. I would suggest dodging.
Yes, I'll do that.
Did you not dodge?
Dodge the stinger.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well. Like, don't want to dodge this thing, but I don't know if this thing is going to hit. So
Well, you
let's
can
just-
dodge multiple times in a round.
Oh, I
It's
can,
just
I
not
can.
negative.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
good.
You
That's
might
good,
want to
okay.
invoke like a mobility rune or something, or you've already got
that's
your.
It's a good shout.
Oh yeah. Actually, you still got your first
I've got my family up.
inspiration, up, so that's plus 20. So you're already good.
Yeah, so 37 is a
family
success.
active.
All right. So you dodged
I love
the.
my family so much. I roll out of the way.
All right, and then that stinger, he.
My father would never
whips
let me
that
die.
around at you.
I love him too much
And-
to die.
All right, make a roll to see if you can dodge this stinger
Oh.
as it tries to come at you, sneaking where you should be standing.
Shit! No!
What did you roll? What'd you get? Oh,
Roll a
96.
96.
Fortunately for you, you did not fumble, and he missed his attack. So,
Oh, lucky.
yeah, he rolled an 88. So, but you still have to dodge, but you don't know if he's going to hit or not. So, in this case, a fail and a fail. You each kind of move around each other, and nobody succeeds in quite doing what they were trying to do. But it looks a little clumsy and awkward, but it doesn't result in you being stabbed with a stinger. So it's overall good.
Yeah.
So then we cut to out on the battlefield in front of the gully. Vasana, you and Zeth are locking eyes, well, eye to eye, and you'll strike first with your lance.
Oh, I
You're
will?
going to
Sweet.
do
Let me
so.
get my
Yeah,
lance out of
because
the way.
you've got the reach on him.
Nice.
You need him.
So I'm going to use. I mean, I already used my honor. I'm gonna use my honor again. I like honor. This is an
All right.
honorable duel.
You could, I'll let you. All right.
Jousting
I'm
101.
saying technically, it's I don't know if you can just keep flogging the same thing over and over again.
Oh, okay.
Because
No,
you've
no, no.
already failed 2 with your honor. Your
Yeah, my
honor is
honor-
already
my
kind of
honor-
in disarray. I might try a different tool out of that, or a different golf club.
Make it dishonorable.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
It could be family.
Well, these
you
are-
could try to evoke one of your runes.
Yeah, these- well, I've already used my air and my movement.
Hmm.
I've already used truth, right, for the scan check earlier. Hmm.
Well, now you could always try to invoke your loyalty to Argrath, because if you die here in
that is true.
in a gully, you're certainly not going to fulfill your very important
That is
mission
true.
you have, which could shape
so I
the whole
told-
fate of the
So I got
world.
that. So I got a 29. I got a success on that.
All right then, your passion and your zeal for Argrath is going to unite all of Dragon Pass. What'd you get?
So that gives me how big of a bonus?
Plus 20, unless it was a critical or a special success.
Okay, that was a special success because of that
for your
plus
roll?
20. Yeah, for my
Okay,
attack on
yeah.
the lance.
All right, so
Roll a
we're going
12.
to see if he can parry that. And he is not fortunate in parrying with a roll of
Uh-oh.
83. So he sweeps wild. Make a roll where
Uh-oh.
you hit.
Come on, baby. Give me that nat 20, yo. Boom!
Oh, cold shot.
So,
You got a 20?
I rolled a
Yes.
20.
All right then, this is going to be ugly. So roll your lance attack plus a lot of damage. So basically, this is going to be heinous. First, let's get the actual roll. This is your lance, so D10 plus 1. You got an 11. Now add a 1 to that, and now roll a D10.
So I got a 4 on that.
So you're at
15.
16. And then roll 3d6 and add that.
Oh,
Plus 9, so that's 25.
Okay, so you do 25 points of damage to his head. He's not wearing a helmet because he rolls like that. And so, yeah, your lance just pierces, I mean, in a poetic bit of guidance, yeah, it goes through.
I shove it right down his mouth and his throat.
All right,
the back
then.
of his
And
head.
he is lifted off the saddle. Your arm jerks, and he's even much bigger than you, so you're practically dragged off your bison. You're definitely rocked back in the saddle by the weight of this big guy suddenly impaled on your lance, and he is thrown clear. The tusker crashes into your bison.
Can my bison butt him?
But they both stand. They smash into each other and don't. Neither of them falls to the ground, but yeah, it definitely causes them each to go to the side, and you can hear a collective gasp from the Tusk Riders clustered back, watching their leader get so devastated.
And Vasana will yell out,
No.
"Who else will answer the call?"
All right.
I will.
And at this point, better late than never. There's a sudden, just a wave of earth erupts around the Tusker and Zeth, sliding off your lance, engulfs them all and the tip of your lance and pulls him in, and then the ground settles, and there's just nothing except some rumbling and maybe some muted bellowing from this Tusker buried beneath the ground. So yeah, the Tuskers all look at each other, and there's a moment when they all suddenly realize the tide has turned in a very not exciting way for them. Back in the gully, a new round begins. The Turian will step forward. He takes a swing and misses. And at this point, Garrett, he stabs with his spear and also misses. These guys are rolling kind of crappy tonight too. Sarala, it's up to you. It all comes down to you. One Scorpion Man, can you do it? On Harmas now at this point. Harmas, your attack goes before Sarala's. You will go on, if I remember correctly, you are strike rank 6 with your broadsword?
Yes.
So actually, Sarala, you're a little faster.
Yeah. Alright, let's see. Here we go. Where's my die? 38 is a hit.
Not a parry.
Alright, no parry. In that case, that is going to be location 12. Or
That is the thorax. That
thorax.
is his abdomen. Yes.
8 plus 2, so 10 damage to the thorax.
All right, you devastating. You managed to he's got 3 points of tough carapace, which you pierce, and the other 7 points manages to debilitate him and takes him into the point where he crumples. A full front section with the limbs that sprout from it kind of weakens and crumples to the ground. So he's not going to come completely on the ground because he's got 4 legs per side, but he's definitely weakened. And at this point, Harmast, What are you doing?
I'd like to finish him off, if possible, with my great
Alright.
sword.
Yeah.
So, I am going to, I've got 100% plus my family honor. 120 is what I'm looking for, and that's a success on a 65.
Right, he will try to parry that with his club.
Try.
And he is unsuccessful.
So I deal, let me check here.
And tell me where.
Yes, good question. That is on a 3. I can always go for its leg.
Yeah, 3 would be his right foreleg.
And then,
This guy, most of his hit locations are legs, so it's pretty
good.
You're going to hit a leg.
So I deal 1d8 plus 1 plus 1d4. This works.
Yes.
Which is a total of 8 damage.
Okay, so 3 is removed from due to his armor, so you've got you crunch through the right foreleg, just lop it off with that much damage. Actually, wait, no, he's got 1 point. So he takes quite a bit of damage. He is down to essentially 1 hit point, and he looks like he's going to try a strategic withdrawal in a hurry. So we cut to outside. What are you guys doing? Vasana and Yania.
Is Harmist close enough for me to heal?
He's back. Probably you'd have to spend the whole round moving to get to where he's at, or take a move
Okay, because I was
action
reading
and
the
then
heal and it said I could heal anyone, anywhere, and I was like, that's pretty broken. So I will spend my action going up to him then.
Okay, yeah. So take a move action and then do a heal. So basically, you just run up behind him. You see he's looking pretty hurt. Actually, you're not that hurt, Harmast, are you?
I've taken 2 wounds.
Oh, well, that's
Out of 10.
negligible.
I thought
all
I've
right.
taken far more.
Yes. So then you run there and
I'm also hoping that by casting healing magic, even if he isn't that hurt, the fact that they realize no matter how much damage they do, we will just continue to sustain through it, and they should run.
Okay. So the new round begins. You arrive. Harmast, you and Sorala are still facing the thing. It looks like it's going to try to get the hell out of this place. Are you going to let it flee?
No.
All right. All right then.
Dishonorable.
Okay. So what will you do,
Instead,
Harmast?
I'm going to jump onto its back in an attempt to run a sword through the back of his head.
All right. Then make a. I believe that would be jump. Let's find out.
Jump. Let's see.
Sure. Let's say a jump. Can you do
So
it?
But dance, I don't think I have a jump skill unless that's based on something else.
Then make just dex times 3.
Okay. Let's do that. And what's going to do math? That's a success.
All right then, you leap onto his back. Now make your attack.
I shall. For 120. On that is 47, a success.
All right, roll for your hit location.
That is
I'm gonna let you before you roll.
20. Sorry.
Oh well, there you go. I was gonna say just roll whatever and like roll a d10 and add 10, but you've just gotten the equivalent of that. So roll your damage.
All right, damage.
Try to beat a 3.
12.
All right then, you leap behind him and then just slide your blade into the back of its head, and it crumples to the ground, and you step nimbly off as if you meant to do that.
That's how it's done.
All right then, excellent. So
It only took me
Vasana,
1 hit with the last one, Harmas.
So Vasana, you see the Tusk Riders. They immediately race in a circle and then break for the horizon.
I will let out a warrior's victory howl. kind of just hold my lance above my head like a Tuscan Raider and just.
Okay, so with that then, it looks like the immediate peril is over. What are you doing now? Yanioth, you step forward and lay down some healing mojo upon Harmast. No need to go through rolling for that. It's you can just keep trying until you're successful. So it's all good. Biturian and Harriet, thank you all most profusely, and he hints that there will be a generous bonus added for this thing. This great service you've done in this defense of the caravan. What are you doing now?
Checking to see where is Bituria Visage? Where is he? All right?
Yeah, he was not injured. And
okay.
So
that would have been my first turn, was checking on him.
Okay, in the let's say the next few hours when you go to like repack everything and figure out what to do, do you want to explore the gully anymore, or are you wanting to get out of there?
I would take some skulls of my enemies, etc.
Yeah, I would ask my sister if maybe she could command her Earth Elemental to bring Zeeth back up, because I'd like to take one of his tusks.
Okay,
yeah, before
but after
crushed and
after
ground
he's
to
dead.
death.
Yeah, he's not necessarily drowned. He's not crushed into paste. He's just asphyxiated. So
Could I get the Earth Elemental to bring just his head up and the rest of his body under the ground and just hold him there?
Sure. You've still got 15 minutes. I mean, you've probably got another 13, 14 minutes of servitude after the fight ends. So.
Yeah, you have about a quarter of an hour to do as you wish, Vasana. Hi, sweetheart. And I just gonna tap him on the cheek real quick. Great idea, huh? Turning well for you?
All right, so you pull him up before he's dead?
Yeah, so...
Clarify? Okay, yeah, he snarls at you. Oh, no, that's right. He's totally dead. So, yeah. I forgot. It's almost 5 a.m. here, so...
well, I do the same thing to his corpse then and slap his face on the... And just great idea. Now you're dead.
Yes, Vasana will take a token, take one of his tusks that sticks out of his lip, just...
Okay.
And his eye patch.
So, all right. So then, wrapping up, if you go back into the cave or basically the ravine, you will discover a clutch of scorpion man eggs, which you might sanely just decide to get the hell out of there. And in repacking the wagon, Biturian discovers that tucked into the bag of a feed that he's been feeding the animals with is a cloth-wrapped bundle full of, and inside of it there's this what looks like the head of a tusk, like from one of these tuskers. It's made of ivory and it's set with red garnelian. So, quite ornate. It looks like some sort of a religious relic of sorts.
Oh dear.
And now, the guy who was being dragged behind the Tusker, I'm going to assume for humanity's sake that he was far enough away from the table, so he's just lying there unconscious. And what do you want to do with this guy?
Try to see who he is and figure out where he's from.
All right, Biturian steps forward. He is, and identifies him as Pandol of Nochet, the merchant that sold him the box of trinkets.
Oh,
and
that guy.
If you wake him up, he confesses that he tucked the idol in the feed bag because he figured that Biturian would find it if it was in the box of junk, and he'd just sell it back to the Tusk Riders. And Biturian always takes enough food so that he didn't think he'd get to the bottom of the food bucket or the food bin. So he figured when he gets to Pavis, his agent...
He would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for us meddling
Yes,
Tusk Riders.
So you guys can settle that, and again, now you have an even greater thanks for the Turian. You've got the scorn towards this Pandol guy, and you've got a creepy-looking tusk set with red mineral that looks kind of amazing. So there you go.
Nice.
You can decide what to do with that yourself if you would like. And with that, I would like to wrap up. It's been about 3 hours to the minute. It's 5 a.m. here. It's quite bright. I might go get a coffee at the cafe.
That's probably a good idea.
Thank you all for playing.
Yes.
I hope you had a good time. And you've met two of the signature monsters for Baranthra and featured in the Bestiary. The Tuskers and the Tusk Riders and the Ghastly Scorpion Men.
Very cool. Very cool. Thank you, Jason, for giving us your time at such a late hour as well, and being such a good sport.
All right, no problem at all. Well, thank you. Is there anything that we need to do to wrap up, or is there any announcement?
Just quick bits before we head out here. Thank you guys in chat for staying with us. Thank you for watching. We've got a couple of bits. We want to give away those PDFs for you guys. RuneQuest Bestiary comes out on July 20th,
Friday.
so in just a couple of days. Friday it comes out. And that's when you guys will be able to get this. If you would like to be in for a chance to win a copy of such a PDF, all you've got to do is be in the chat and say any word. Say your favorite monster from RuneQuest, perhaps, or your favorite RuneQuest thing. And any word, in fact, will do. Maybe your favorite word. And say that in chat, and we'll pick out 5 winners. And the way that I will reach out to you guys is over Twitch. So I will send you guys a Twitch whisper tonight, and we will get you guys via email the RuneQuest PDF. And to remind you guys, Chaos Team's up for 8 Ennies this year, including one for the RuneQuest Quick Start and Adventure. So congrats to them. Go and vote. Go ahead.
I would like to say that is also, I mean, the RuneQuest Quick Start is up for grabs, but this is really a testament. I mean, 6 or 7 of these awards is going to our amazing Call of Cthulhu line, which is the shepherded by the magnificent Mike Mason. So I'd like to give a shout out to him for that, because Call of Cthulhu is a huge product with brings a lot of joy and
misery.
Yes, a lot of misery, but it's also just a great product, and we're really happy to see that recognition. And I just like to let Mike know. Thank you for all the awesome work there.
Definitely. In fact, on that note, if you guys want to catch Call of Cthulhu, me and Pruitt play every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern. We're currently playing through the Doors to Darkness supplement, and we may be headed into some other supplements in the near future that have just been released. But let's get out these winners here. Let's see. The first winner is... Let's see. Would you like to work? Giveaway bot thing for me. That would be super useful. Let's roll the dice. No. All right. Well, that was... less than... Let's see if we can just reload that. That extension doesn't look like it's working. Just keep saying things in chat and I'll be there. No, that doesn't want to work at all. Alright, well, let's pick randomly via the bots. Backup plan. Always have one. For when technology doesn't want to work.
Smooth! You can get all those crit hits with your spears, but you can't press a button.
Right. Right. Alright, let's see. Gonna open the giveaway. Okay. Plan B is say in chat !RQ for RuneQuest. !RQ in chat will enter you into the giveaway. Alright.
RQ.
Apologies for the slapdash method. It's late over here. Alright, I'm gonna give you guys a minute to get in there.
At least you didn't spin the wheel or something.
Right, yeah. Do you want to quickly do some plugs and shout-outs for you guys' own channels? Laurelania?
I have a whole bunch of them, so I'll try to be as fast as possible. Tuesdays at 5 o'clock. Tuesdays at some point in the day, which will explain to you because I'm bad at time zones right now. I'm over here for the Long March, which is a D&D 5th edition campaign that we've been running for about 2.5 years, where I am playing a level 5 archer named Sarah. She's a lot of fun. She's a 15-year-old girl and gets into a lot of trouble. And then later on, I'm here with Midgard, and I'm playing Kari, the Shadow Fae Cleric of the Cat domain, and that is a campaign that is put on by Kobold Press, which is partners with Wizards of the Coast, Mages of the Sea. And then I also play in a Firefly campaign over on Grimjack21502's channel, and I will post those links for you in chat at some point when the RuneQuest spam stops. And then later on the Greyhawk channel, I'm playing Queen of Spiders, and that is a reskinning of the 2nd edition campaign to go and kill the Queen of Spiders, which kills me to do. And then I got to do this, which is great. Shout out to Simplicity, my esports hosts. If you guys are in Dulles, Washington, I'm going to be there for the convention on the 2nd and 3rd of August, and over the next 2 weeks I'm going to be in San Jose working on a super secret but super cool fun project. So if you're in the area, come say hello. Done. That's it.
Sweet.
And see.
Awesome. And real quick here, congrats to Byron1187, Tukak, Fidelt, KD in Philly, and Laurelania. There you go. Rigged.
Rigged. Fake polls.
Pruitt and Jim, you guys want to sign off here?
Sure.
Yeah, sure. I'm Pruitt, one half of WebDM. Tomorrow night I'll be DMing my game Starward Bound. It's at 6 p.m. on our Twitch channel. That's Central. Also, I'm a 9-hour marathoner on Wednesday alongside Will. We got Call of Cthulhu at noon. We got Warhammer at 3 o'clock. And then at 6 o'clock, we got Save or Dice, which will be a special episode this week because we'll have a guest DM. And then if you got your funny clips and all that fun stuff, be sure to send them on over to Sean McGovern at Power Score RPG Blog, and we'll get them on next RPGN, where you have all the best highlights from tabletop gaming and dick jokes.
The wombo combo. Anything else to...
No, just Google WebDM and you'll find our stuff. Check us out. We got our YouTube. Look at these others.
Jim has a game on Thursday.
I got a game on Thursday. We play on Wednesday. You should come watch us on Warhammer as we just slowly descend and towards everyone going crazy and killing themselves.
Amazing.
And yeah, amazing. Yes. That's
all right. So yeah, fucking look up Jim on Wikipedia or something. Like,
yeah, look up Jim Davis on Wikipedia. You'll learn all about my old Garfield career.
There you go. Great stuff. We don't want to keep Jason any longer. It's super late over there. We've been around for just over 3 hours here. Congrats to you guys. Make sure to keep an eye on your Twitch whispers. I'll either send those tonight or tomorrow morning, depending on how much sleep I need. And I will see you guys very shortly for some more D&D tomorrow, along with Laurelania and friends. Until next time, no, my friends, try not to roll too many nat ones because we want to be there laughing and losing our legs when you do. Good night, everyone. Bye.
All right. Good night. Thanks for playing.
Yes.